Gaming news today is all about, well, new games, sort of. First, Assassin's Creed Black Flag has had a handful of leaks up to now, but we now have a release date that is much closer than anticipated, and the reveal of the game wasn't actually yesterday. It's actually now set for next week. We're going to look at the details because folks were a little concerned about what they were going to do to the genre and the style of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and we have information about that. Second, Metro 2039 had its first look yesterday. We got crazy high production cinematic from them, lots of dev commentary, and then a glimpse of the game, followed by a release window. Now, I'm going to give you my thoughts and a reaction to it, along with a big heads up about how cheap you can get the 3 Metro game bundle right now. Third, we have a brand new info piece about Fairgames, and while it does confirm trouble reception internally, it highlights changes and an upcoming playtest as well internally. I've got pretty strong opinions about Fairgames and what I think they should do, so I'm sure we're going to get into it. Also, remember, it's Friday. I will be on the round table today with Ginger, Detective Seeds, and Cognito, Lord Cognito. If you guys haven't seen that, the show that I do on Fridays with Ginger, man, today's a good day to tune in. And I will also be playing Pragmata this afternoon. So, if you guys are here right now, make sure you're going crazy on the like button. That helps me out. And if you're watching it later, hitting like, hitting subscribe, all of that helps me. Also, consider becoming a paying member if you enjoy this content on a regular basis. The only reason I'm able to do this full time is because of direct viewer support. And we're trying to get to 600 paying members. We're in like the mid 500s. So for $5 a month, you can help us with that. All right, let's get into the first segment here and the first story. Well, the AC Black Flag remake is the worst-kept secret in the gaming industry. Still short of an official confirmation or an announcement from Ubisoft, we now know that they held a press event and even revealed the release date. Thanks to Insider Gaming, we have one of the most important pieces of information. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced will release on July 9th, 2026. That's literally around the corner. That's way closer than many of us expected, and it just adds to an already full year of gaming in 2026. And according to Insider Gaming, Ubisoft decided to postpone the announcement that was supposed to happen yesterday, and it will now happen next week. There was, however, a 30-minute presentation for media and content creators yesterday, and while Insider Gaming won't spoil what's in store for the game, they can say that the game has been completely reworked with a bunch of new content and updates, and they said, quote, honestly, it looks awesome. Now, something that AC fans will either find comforting or disappointing, depending on your opinion about Assassin's Creed games, Black Flag Resynced is not an RPG. Here is what was stated. This remains a solo adventure and character-driven experience. It is not an RPG. That was stated during the presentation. Now, there was also a leaked image via the Ubisoft Plus website that showed new key art for the game, and honestly, I think it looks pretty good. I put it on the thumbnail this morning. I, for one, am excited to see just how good this game looks, especially after how visually strong Assassin's Creed Shadows was. I mean, they did a lot of good work, I think, with that open world. Now, since they did not rework the game to fit into the RPG format, that's actually something that I liked about Origins. I actually think it's probably a good thing that they did this, that it's going to be a better remake for it. Just make the game great rather than change its identity or its essence. But those are just my thoughts, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on the matter as well. So let's get into the next one. Now, this is just going to be kind of my thoughts based on yesterday with the Metro reveal that they did. Well, the first look at Metro 2039 is come and gone, and while it was more of a first glimpse with respect to actual gameplay, it was definitely an exciting event. First, there was a roughly 6-minute cinematic trailer brought with, I think, a very cerebral and disturbing tone, which I think cinematics we know can land fairly impressive these days with a decent production team. But to me, this was a very, very strong showing for the story and the setting. I was pretty much captivated the entire time. I also enjoyed what happened after this. There was dev interviews, there was commentary. The grit and the determination and the overall vibe makes me really want to cheer for these guys, this dev team, and this game. I want it to be a big success for them. The most disappointing part was actually that the gameplay section was so short, and it was clearly a blend of like quick time cinematic events with a very small amount of gameplay, and then they revealed that the release window for the game is, quote, this winter. Now, that could easily extend into the first quarter of next year. I actually think that's very likely. I'm not thinking that we're going to be seeing this thing before 2026 comes to a close. Overall, I really liked what I saw, and right now, you can get the Metro Saga bundle for $6 on PlayStation. It's like $7.50 on Steam, and it's $6 on Xbox as well, so I would snag it. You need to go and search for the Metro Saga bundle. I believe on PlayStation, you might have to hit the 3 dots and switch the version that you are trying to buy. I would snag that right now if you've never played a Metro before. I'm going to go ahead and snag it today before I play Pragmata, before that sale ends. I believe it ends on like April 23rd or 24th. So snag that while we wait for Metro 2039. But that's just my thought on it. I'd love to hear what you guys thought. What was your reaction to the Metro 2039 event? Now, my reaction to this next one, I'm sure we'll debate this one today, I'm sure. A brand new Fairgames leak has not changed my opinion about this game, in that I just think it should be canceled. According to Insider Gaming exclusive that they got, there is some extraction elements that they are deciding to align with. Documents that Insider Gaming was sent indicated that the game will lean into the extraction shooter genre with a dedicated game mode. Now, according to their report, after the game was revealed in 2023, rumors and reports started surfacing that the game was having issues finding the fun factor. It was originally described as a competitive heist experience, so it's truly a mystery why they've been struggling to find the fun factor. One of the flagship game modes is described as break-in, drill, and extract. Now, you have to find a vault code, gain access to a safe, collect cash, upgrade your skill set, and make your play. And then once the vault has been breached, you need to be the team to grab the cargo, or you need to set up your strategy to intercept the cargo. And then the cargo must be brought to an extraction site where you use an extraction device to call for a ride home. If you fail to extract the cargo, you must use another exit to get away. Now, we got all this from the Insider Gaming report. Keep in mind, there have been issues about this game during development. Jade Raymond, who founded the company, she left in 2025. This was after a playtest did not go well. It was described as, quote, not fun. Again, I'm shocked that a game described as we have just walked through as not fun. Insider Gaming claimed this has been a persistent problem throughout the game's development. This game is apparently set to be free to play, however, so this will not be one of the $40 PlayStation Live service games. I actually think that could help the initial player funnel, but the concept sounds terrible in my opinion and will likely struggle to have broad appeal. It is also very similar to another game called Den of Wolves. Insider Gaming had to double check before running this report. Tom Henderson thought he was literally reading a document about Den of Wolves. That's how similar they are. Now, Den of Wolves received praise from those who got to play it early, but that doesn't really convince me anymore. We saw glowing praise for High Guard and Marathon, and neither of those games are in great states because High Guard's dead and Marathon seems to be heading there. So I don't really care if early access players have high praise for games like this. They need to be able to go the distance, not just wow a content creator for an afternoon. They are glorified game modes LARPing as game releases, and they just don't last and have staying power, let alone broad appeal. This just feels like folks saw the extraction shooter on the rise as fertile and untapped soil, and that's why these games keep showing up. It's like the wave of battle royales that happened in the wake of Fortnite. We now have to face an onslaught of extraction shooters that will likely go nowhere, especially with Arc Raiders making the splash that it made. Even now, Arc Raiders is seeing that slow, steady decline that we commonly see for live service games after they've been out for a while, which is why having broad appeal and a strong initial player funnel is so vitally important. So from where I sit, a game that started as a competitive heist game turning into one that is extraction shooter adjacent, that just has also consistently struggled with finding the fun internally, this is just another recipe for a flop and a failure. Now, the silver lining here is that they're acknowledging internally that the game isn't fun. Now, that's something that we know helped transform Arc Raiders before launch, but I just don't see the base content offering here having a chance in the current market. But that's just my take on it. I'd love to hear your take on it. And we can do that right now, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Quick show open for you there, 10 minutes. We've got a full day today, lots to discuss, lots to talk about, and it is Friday, so we are doing the roundtable, and that also means the clock's ticking on your weekly goal. Haseo, Han shot first, and so did you. He was the first gifted member today, got us to 30, and then Rare Killer and Joker Quinn each came in with single gifteds as well. And thank you, Wired Rope, for hitting a 120-day stream streak over there on Twitch. That's absolutely insane. If the leaks are true, it's in the same engine as Shadows, so it would look good. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is probably going to look pretty good. I thought AC Shadows was absolutely gorgeous. Like, there were times where Naue didn't look very good in the cutscenes, but the world looked incredible, like world detail lighting and all of that. Proof of life in the aftermath. Yo, Derek, I was getting the messages on Facebook. My brother just survived a typhoon, his first typhoon, Typhoon Sinlaku. What amazing footage you captured up there. He had some pretty cool videos. I thought I was going to sneeze. Sorry. He had some pretty cool videos up there of like trees like bent, and some minor damage, some water and stuff. But overall, it seems like it wasn't too bad. Be careful, Lono. You're sounding a little graphic snobby. I know. I'm not saying that you have to have all these things, okay? You don't have to do ray tracing and path tracing, but it's getting there. It's getting close to that time where you're going to have to really consider having a good lighting system in your game, or it's going to look like crap. The walls and water don't F around. No, neither does wind. In New Zealand? No, he's not in New Zealand. We're not going to get into like specific locations of where he is. He lived through a typhoon, which is a hurricane. They call them typhoons. I'm not sure if they're classified differently, if that's why they do that or not. But yeah, I'd be surprised if anybody wants to debate fair games. Well, I mean, we can add a little back and forth just to get the engine started here, because Kirk has stopped by the show, and I was on a podcast with him again recently, and we're on Operation Bury the Hatchet in 2026. All right, that's just something we've been doing with the content and with podcasts and appearances and stuff. And Kirk says, now he replies to my tweet here because I said cancel this. That's my position. Cancel this crap, dude. Nobody wants this. Nobody is saying, can we get a heist game live service with some extraction? I want another game where I have to play against other players, and if I don't get out, I lose all my stuff. Like, who in the frick wants that? You know what I mean? The name is based on the ocean it develops in. Yeah, they're literally the same. A typhoon and a hurricane. Yeah, it's a regional thing. The naming of a typhoon versus hurricane is 100% regional. Anyway, so Kirk responds, and I didn't reply to him because I hate replying on Twitter. It's almost impossible to convey my thoughts very well there. I struggle enough doing that in a live environment with a microphone. Okay, he says, not trying to be combative, but who would cancellation help? The game is basically already being developed, right? I would prefer it releases and the devs stay employed, at least for as long as the game has legs. I don't know who stands to gain from the game being canceled. Is there anyone? I'm going to answer his question rather simply. The first question is the same as the last question, okay? Who would it help? It would help the studio. You're saying, that, and with respect, he's saying, I'd rather them stay employed. Their risk of unemployment is greater every day they spend working on this, because they are quite literally, in my opinion, based on market receptibility, they are literally headed to the gallows. Like, this will not work. It will not be successful. Their risk of shutting down increases every cent they spend on this. They could be tasked with building something else. They could move on to something else. They could become a support studio. They could help with other projects. They could be doing something right now that has more impact on their ability to stay open. So who would it help? Number one, I think it would help the studio. Shuhei Yoshida talked about this. He said, we cancel games all the time. And one of his things about that subject was, they're trying to save the studio. They're trying to save the studio from making a mistake. Like, it wouldn't have been good for the Last of Us factions to come out. It would have been an enormous waste of money. It would have been an enormous risk for the studio. And this studio right here, Haven, I'm assuming they've got other abilities. They don't have to build Fairgames. It's like the only thing they can do. Like, so to me, he's saying, well, you know, the game's basically already being developed. And I'm like, well, sure, it's already being developed, but that doesn't mean that it needs to continue being developed. A 10-stream streak from Hilly. Thank you, Hilly. You could have helped with factions. Now, factions wasn't going to work. You guys just need to let that go. This idea that a game mode that was reasonably popular all those years ago, even Arc Raiders right now is struggling with the declining player base. There's no way Naughty Dog would have launched factions and had it been successful. We need to let go of this sunk cost fallacy, as Zubair has highlighted. We need to let go of this idea that, like, well, if the game's being worked on and it has even an inkling or a glimmer of potential, just ship it. And it's like, it's so stinking expensive to do that. Just the marketing and the spinning up of the servers, just that cost alone, you can save that right now. Save it. The only silver lining here, I will grant this point, the only silver lining is they are internally acknowledging that it's not fun. That's what Arc Raiders did. Arc Raiders had to acknowledge that the game was no fun, and when they did that, it led to the game improving, and it led to, you know, tectonic changes that made the game what it is today. So to me, it's like, I get it. You're looking forward to Fairgames. Why? I can't think of what, like, here's another thing I'll say about this. And this obviously touches on the, you know, the subject of Marathon. But I think a lot of people approach games in a way that I struggle to do this now, because it's like you get so deep in the weeds of the industry and analyzing and watching studios close and everything else. And I think that wanting a game like this to come out so you can have fun for a weekend, full well knowing it's got no chance of survival and it's not going to go the distance. It's like, you know, deep down, Fairgames is not going the distance. Like, you're even memeing Fairgames Game of the Year. Like, you know. Yeah, DK Beggar, thank you so much for the single gifted. Like, you know, its chance of survival is low. Right? Like, its chance of survival is low. He was joking. He had the LOL. He didn't say Fairgames will be better. No. He didn't say, he says, I'm looking forward to Fairgames, LOL. Oh, well, I mean, if he's joking, whatever. I mean, there's still people that, look at my tweet. What do you mean? Maybe TJ's memeing, but there were plenty of people that replied to my tweet and said, we had what Kirk said, don't think I could juggle this in Marathon, but I think Fairgames could go wacky with the cosmetics. And this guy says, it says extraction game, doesn't mean extraction shooter. Let's just see how the game is before hating it. I'm not hating it. I'm saying cancel it. This one says, no, they should let it gain an audience. If extraction games ain't for you, don't support it and move on. These are replies to my tweet. I swear Arc Raiders became the next Fortnite and the genre, and people saw the success. Now everyone wants to replicate it. I think that's spot on. Let's see here. Wait a minute. Why? Hang on. I'm getting that weird thing where it's suggesting tweets that didn't reply. Why isn't it? Oh, here's one. Isn't it better to release it and recover a bit of money, even if it's a small portion, than canceling it way deep in development? You see, there's plenty of people that think you should just ship it. They're like, why? Why ship it? They've been working on it. And it's like, I feel like we had similar conversations about Marathon. It was like, well, I don't care if the game shuts down in 3 months. I'm going to go in and have fun. And it's like, that is such a silly use of money and funds and development time. Caution earthquake at Xbox. The new CEO has just uncovered the absolute chaos that exists under Phil Spencer's leadership. From the outside, the friendly face. From the inside, we depend on heroes, not on systems. What has the Xbox brass been doing all these years, and why has such basic structure been completely broken? The brutal reality slap hidden in this document. Yeah, that'll probably get kicked to Monday. I didn't have a chance to look at any of that. It looks like there's some really, really interesting things coming out about Xbox. Like, basically, like, they're structurally broken. The organization is structurally broken. That's why games haven't been coming out. That's why games keep getting delayed. That's why games come out and have all kinds of problems. Like, I haven't had a chance to look into it, but it doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me at all. They have been extremely inconsistent this entire gen, and we know there's all sorts of things that could have played a role, whether it was the contracts or whether it was the Series S. Hang on. Sorry, I got a text from my neighbor. Some others have said this, and I agree. Factions didn't need to be a forever game. Make enough content for a year and call it a day. Do you have any idea? Okay, let's just take that as a discussion point, Frank. Because what you're saying sounds reasonable. But you're also saying, let's spend a bunch of money to build a house and just live in it for a year. Like, you would probably not do that. That would be a very strange way to spend your time and money. Like, you're spending time, you're spending money, you're showing up to the house every day to see how the build is going, how the foundation's coming in, framing and all of that. You're like, yeah, I can't wait to live in this for just 1 year. That level of commitment and investment and time and spend, you're not going to do that. Like, that's what you're saying. Like, I know what you're saying sounds reasonable, Frank. You're like, well, just launch it with roughly with a plan for like 1 year. It doesn't need to be a forever game. Brother, then don't even launch it. There is no point. The level of investment in time. Lono, thanks for the heads up on the Metro bundle. I just picked it up. Yeah, guys, no problem. Make sure as you're coming in, you're hitting the like button. It is Friday, so we're going to be doing the roundtable with Ginger, which means you're up against the clock a little bit today if you guys are going to try and hit the goal. And I am playing Pragmata gameplay after the show with Ginger. You're not going to want to miss the show with Ginger. Detective Seeds is there, and Lord Cognito is there. It's going to be a bit of an eclectic table. I'll say that. That is a very fun group. What if it was a more successful year though? How much does a year of servers alone cost? I just don't know. I mean, the issue is it's extremely difficult to spend that much money and then just stop. That's called a game with a DLC. Right, AOZ. That's correct. If you're launching a game that you roughly expect to get like 1 year out of, that's a game with like maybe a DLC. That's not what these games are built for. So, dude, what's good, Snow? Thank you so much. Snow's bumping the line. Thank you so much for that. 434. Always good to see you, Snow. Thank you for the heads up yesterday about that showcase. We were watching it like it looked like it was stuff that we had already seen, but I still appreciated the heads up. Single player games can be played and sold for years to come. Multiplayer games need ongoing engagement to survive and make a profit. Don't they do that with single player games? Yes, they do. There is such an enormous difference, BMO, between launching something like let's just take Spider-Man 1, for instance. We know Spider-Man's budget was crazy. Let's not talk budget. Let's just talk about production time and sustainability. So they launched Spider-Man 1, and then they had some DLC that they shipped, and then they were done, right? Now, the entire time they were building that game, and then the entire time after they were building that game, and all the other intangibles that went into it, they were not having to like actively support it and check on servers and maintain servers and matchmaking and do updates and patches and nerfs and buffs. The bandwidth and the money that goes into a live service game, it is very, very expensive. And so if you're going to do a live service game and your goal is like, oh, well, we'll do a live service game for a year. Now, no executive's going to greenlight that, by the way, because your upfront cost and then your sustaining cost is going to be quite high. So no one's greenlighting that. There's not an executive worth their weight that would be like, yeah, that's totally fine. I want you to spend an exorbitant amount of money and then, we'll support the game for 12 months. Like I said, it sounds reasonable, but it isn't. It's like there's no way they would do that. It's so expensive. At that point, this is why I'm saying they should cancel Fairgames. Just put Haven Studios on a good single-player game. Or maybe just a co-op game or something. Just make it co-op with missions and extraction and all of that. You can do all that, but don't make it a live service game. You're creating something that just needs a steady flow of just gasoline to keep it going. And I just think it's an absolute mistake. I just don't think that they should do it. BMO says, Faction still has people playing it. They could have built that game and put up years worth of content. Okay, well, Factions is a different conversation, though. Factions was going to require an amount of support and bandwidth from the studio that would have changed the substance and the fabric of Naughty Dog, and they were unwilling to do that. That's a different conversation. I think that's the problem. Anytime we talk Factions, people forget that's what your comment was about. Don't they do that with the original Factions was that, to be honest. Well, what they should have done with Factions is just attach it to The Last of Us Part 2 remaster or something as a mode, and then if people wanted to play it, it was there. It was there. It didn't have to be supported ongoing. You have some servers, and then that's it. It doesn't even need to be scaled to that degree. The conversation about Fairgames to me is incredibly different. It's like you are building something that you can look at the landscape right now and this game is going to struggle. It's going to struggle with receptibility. The art direction's unappealing. The game mode's unappealing. It's not going to have broad appeal. You are actively, every day, wasting money. I see your point. Maybe my take is wishful thinking. I can appreciate and respect what you said, Frank. It's like, just, why can't you just launch it and have it planned for a year? Thank you for the gifted as well, Frank. It's just, the issue is the money, man. It's so expensive. That's why I gave the example. With building a house. I've never built a house. I don't know if you've built a house, but I know the money and the time and the investment that goes into building a dadgum house. You wouldn't do it with the plan of living in it for 1 year. You wouldn't. Live service games had to be built different, says AOZ. They need a development pipeline and tooling that rapidly iterates content, usually with staggered teams that can indefinitely produce content on schedule. What AOZ just said, I think, is so informative. You're talking about infrastructural changes that would require the game to even live. And so then the entire studio is structured around that. Yo, guys, Feed is in the chat over here on YouTube. His name is Mark. Get this man a badge, YouTube. That's Feed. I'm about to play Black Flag for the first time. I just downloaded it for PC. Should I wait for the remaster? Can you wait until July? If you can wait until July, then I would wait. Or maybe play for an hour or two so that you can really sense the difference. I think that the remake's going to be amazing. If it's at the visual fidelity of Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's going to be beautiful. And they're not RPGing it up. It's going to be the original game with new content, but they're not going in the RPG direction. Just launch alongside of the game, says Smoke, like they did with the original. Right, and here's the thing, we might see a rise of that. If you want my honest opinion and prediction, we might see a rise in that. Hey, we're going to launch a single-player game, and then we're going to throw something in it like Legends in Tsushima or Yote, just like a tack-on multiplayer thing, so people can continue to engage with your product if they want. Pragmata is crushing it. I can't wait to play it. It has a 96% on Steam. What's its score on PlayStation? Isn't it a 97 or something absurd? And a 20 bomb from Terminal Stupidity gets us to 455. That's a 20 bomb leapfrog. Somebody should team up with them and get us to 475. Listen, You guys could hit stretch today. We kind of need it. We took a hit last week. I was here and we took a hit. Usually we take a hit when I go out of town. We missed the goal last week. All right? So if you hit the goal this week, Matt and I will stream tomorrow night, and I've got a surprise for you guys. We'll do a fun extra segment if you hit stretch, and it should be good. I think you guys will like it. Petrov is trying to summon the farty bomb. It's Friday, and rent isn't due. That's right. It's got a 4.67 on PlayStation. Oh, so it slipped a little bit. Okay, so it's got a 4.6 or a 4.7. I'm seeing a 4.7 in the can't talk in the Discord. It's like a 93 to a 94. Still very good. That's very good. It has almost 10,000 reviews on PlayStation. Capcom's having a year, boys. They are having a heck of a year. I mean, come on now. They're kind of crushing it. Resident Evil 9, Monhun Stories, and now this. Jeepers. Yo, good morning, Sorcerer. How are you? I don't understand how these companies expect so many forever games to thrive in the same space. I relented and bought Pragmata after saying I wasn't going to. Dumb game is going to make me cry, isn't it? She's a robot. I think you'll be okay. Maybe, maybe not. I bought the deluxe edition. I just, I just wanted to put pants on her, man. I don't know why we got to have this awkward situation where you have a child the whole time. I just was like, why? And so you go with the deluxe edition. She has different outfits because people were being weird. And I'm like, okay, I just want to enjoy this game because I think the combat was way better than I expected. I thought, man, I might like that. Maybe I won't. Yeah, Onimusha's this year as well. Perfect Image says live service game would cost, depending on the user, 5 to 100, 3. I don't know where you're getting these numbers. Detroit Become Human. We're all robots, but they all made me feel emotions. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that really is true. We're out here really crying to the game. Hey, man, sometimes digital media can make you emotional, can make you feel things, you know? Zubair says, people don't understand. They don't expect all these games to survive. It's like venture capital, 1 out of 100. Right. And I think that's where PlayStation's strategy still continues to land. I think that's why Fairgames is going forward. I think Fairgames is literally going forward because that's all PlayStation views it as. A bunch of bets. Place your bets. Place your bets. So I met the most amazing, but also just like every stereotype you could imagine. It's the nicest guy ever. This Russian guy yesterday, and his name was Igor, and he was just the most Russian I've ever met. He had the build like he looked like he could literally just, if he needed to, just become a soldier in an instant. He had camouflage pants on, and he had like the short, high and tight, almost militaristic cut, and his accent, he was so friendly. And it was just like, I was like, I want to be your friend. I want to hang out with you. He was so Russian. It was like he walked off of the set of a movie. It was just, he is so nice. Friends of ours are shipping their car across the country, and he was the one picking it up, and I was dropping it off. So I just thought he was great. Yeah, Igor. No. Not like the guy yesterday. Yeah, with like the extra R's in his name. That was annoying in the video game. Studios should set up a trust fund for their servers based on the fan base. If the fans of older games still want servers, they could donate towards them each month. I mean, that you can't do it that way. You can't go like fan funding servers. I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, the pre-order outfits are pretty cool in Pragmata. Russian. Was he in a hurry? Yeah. Well, he couldn't take the car. He had like a hydraulic. One of the hoses for the hydraulics busted and fluid was everywhere, so he couldn't extend the bed to add more cars. So Yeah. I'm playing Pragmata now on my Pro. I like this game so much more than I thought. It's a surprise, isn't it? Roll credits on Expedition 33 and tell me you felt nothing. Yeah, I got emotional in Expedition 33. I got emotional during the eulogy, and I got emotional when she talked to her dad and said that she had lost so much. I was like, I feel that, girl. Like, I know what it is to, like, lose so much and to be like, how do you move on from that, you know? I know it costs a lot to build a studio, but they can't keep having their single-player studios work on them. Well, what's Haven known for? I have like a teeny cut on my knuckle, and I keep bumping it. What is Haven Studios known for? Are they a single-player studio? Haven Studios. Because they're the ones working on Fairgames. Okay, we create Endless Wonder. Okay, that's wonderful. Can you just show me your games? Does anybody? Okay, can I just show you guys something? Am I the only one? I can't be the only one. I want a website to just function. Which, by the way, why does this look like I'm being? Why does this look like a church's website? Come worship this Sunday at Haven. We create havens for Endless Wonder. Yo, Jez! Thank you so much. Jez Corden's in the house, gifting 5 members of the community. Appreciate you, bro. We got to have you on the show soon, Jez. There's all this stuff coming out about Xbox. It could be a good show. This looks like a freaking church site. But am I the only one that hates a site like this? I'm coming here for information, and you have this weird, like, new age. Come on. I'm just trying. Where's the game? What games have you worked? No, I'm at the bottom. What games have you worked on? What's this door do? I clicked on it. What did it do? It brought me back to the beginning. This is a video game. Their website is a video game. Home Culture Careers blog. F it. Just forget it. Just forget it. I don't need any information. Welcome to Scientology. That's their website. This is their first game. Okay. Well, there we have our answer. It's their first game. It's also their first frickin' website. You know what I mean? They had somebody build that in a website builder program. You could do really fun stuff. And if they click the door, they'll go all the way back to the beginning, because that makes sense. Jiminy Christmas. I hate websites like that. I'm like, just give me the information. Why does it have to be like an experience? Ask Copilot. Jess. Yeah. Help me navigate this website, Copilot. Copilot's like, nah. No, we know all about these website types. Funded by Tom Cruise. That's what I'm saying. They haven't made a game yet. I told you Sony bought them for their engine. All right, well, here's the deal. If you bought them for their engine and you want to maybe have some of your, some studios or whatever, what the heck did Illuminati Owl get bopped for? Oh, he put a period. Lono.it says, Lono, it looks like Epsilon program on GTA 5. That's right. If in the discussion about live service games, okay, my thought has always been, if you're going to do it, I would say you got to be careful with your initial planning phase. You've got to be careful with your initial planning phase. If you can't be careful with the initial planning phase and iterate on that, you're going to end up just trend chasing. And that's what I feel like a lot of these games have done. Like, their planning phase consists of, well, this is cool, so we're going to do that. And it's like, okay, there was a couple of years ago where we talked about this, and it's like, I don't know why everybody's trying to make extraction shooters all of a sudden. Like, why? And it was literally the answer from people at the time was, well, there's no competition. They're trying to get in while the getting's good. They're trying to get in, and they're trying to, strike while the iron's, heating up. Like, they're sensing, oh, this is about to become kind of a hot thing. The problem with that is that I don't feel like you're building something that you wanted to build. You're building something that you hope is successful. There's like a difference. I'm not saying studios don't want to be successful. I'm saying if your primary starting position is, well, this is popular, So let's make that. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be like writing a book or or making a movie and being like, well, action movies are really cool. Let's make an action movie. These types of movies are really cool. Let's do that. Let's make that type. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't stand to reason. It's like you didn't come up with an idea, like an original idea, and think, well, I think this would make for a really great game. You're like, oh, we think people are going to be playing these types of games a lot, so we need to make one of those. It's like the hero shooter dilemma when Concord came out. It was just sort of like, well, here's a hero shooter, and it was like, is this what you guys really wanted to make, or are you just doing your own, derivative version of something that's already in the market? We saw this happen with Fortnite, and I feel like we're seeing this now with extraction shooters. Like, I want you just to think about the creative process behind what we're hearing about Fairgames. What we're hearing about Fairgames is, we're hearing, oh, they're having a hard time finding the fun. And how are they trying to find the fun? Oh, we'll throw extraction mechanics into it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, Arc Raiders is really popular, and you have to try to get out with the stuff, so let's create a method where you have to, like, get out with the stuff. For ignoring the fact that the base content loop is competitive heist. Competitive heist? Like, you're competing with other people to steal stuff from a bank? Like, okay. And then the art style and, like, the eat the rich, worldview of the game, I just don't think so. It's like, trend chasing with a 5-year lag is a bold choice. It really is. It would be like saying, Redbox is really popular. We should invent our own version of Redbox. We'll have it ready in 5 years. And you go, like, nose down, for years and years. And you're doing all your work, and then you finally show up and you're like, all right, we have our version of Redbox. We can't wait to show it to you. And people are like, what the frick are you talking about, man? Redbox is gone. That's gone. You might find one next to, like, a lonely gas station where you're risking getting held up if you want to go rent a movie. Like, I don't know, boys. I really, really don't. It's also known as cryo on the weekends and marathon. That's right. Yeah, Instagram threads. Yeah, eat the players. Too much live service and don't know which games to play first. You know what is crazy right now? I turned on my PlayStation last night. Madam and I, we did the real true final boss in Sworn, that Hades clone we've been playing. It's like a Hades clone with co-op. It really makes me wish that Hades 1 and 2 was co-op, because I think Madam and I would really like it. So you have to get the 3 gems in the crown, and then after you beat King Arthur, you beat him twice. You beat him, then you beat him as a dragon. Then you go to this whole new area. And then you finish that area, and then you fight the real boss. It's this chick. I forget her name. Magora. I can't remember her name now. We beat her first try. A lot of people were complaining, like, I guess she's apparently pretty hard, but we were pretty stacked. And the one build that I run, we just whooped her. And so I was looking at my dashboard. Morgana, thank you. Morgan Le Fay, yes, it was Morgana. And so I'm looking at my dashboard on my PlayStation. I'm looking at my home screen, and I'm like, Jiminy Christmas this week is going to be. What am I going to do? I'm enjoying Hades 2. Frick those sirens, though. Frick them. I almost had them last night. I had a really fun build in Hades 2 where every single time I would do my attack, it was the final big axe slam instead of the actual combo lead up. It was a little different, but it was fun. I picked that up somewhere during that run. So I've got Hades 2. I've got Mouse PI for Hire. I've got Pragmata. I still didn't finish the Darwin's Paradox game. I wasn't liking it all that much to begin with, but you're just trying to hear that song again? Oh my gosh, those freaking sirens. They didn't even pick up all the red boxes when they shut down. Some are still left standing. That's amazing. Hasio says, I was talking about how Sony has needed a dedicated studio with live service. Bungie has their hands full with Marathon, and I believe they need to spin up a studio, probably some people from Bungie, to focus on the live service games. Well, that's what Bungie is supposed to do, though. You don't need to... I get what you're saying, Haseo. I do. But, like, the Italian says, I'm going to invest in my startup. We're revolutionizing the payphone industry. That's right. That is correct. I get what you're saying, Haseo, but, like, that's literally what Bungie's supposed to do. Bungie is supposed to be sitting there looking at the live service games and judging their viability. So where is Bungie in this equation? Have they even looked at Fairgames once to be like, what, does it have a shot? Do you think PlayStation should stop making live service games? I don't think they should stop making them. I think they should stop making them when they're bad or when they don't have a chance. Helldivers 2 has made them a bunch of money. Gran Turismo 7 has made them a bunch of money. MLB The Show has made them a bunch of money. They internally have celebrated how much money they've made from live service. They're not going to stop. The shareholders in the C-suite are like, a lot of people run with the idea that, like, PlayStation spent $400 million on Concord, which they didn't. That's literally a lie that keeps getting circulated by people that did not even remotely understand what Colin Moriarty said. There was $200 million in funding procured before the buy, before they were purchased. After they were purchased, they got another round of $200 million. That money didn't come from Sony, and it also wasn't all for Concord. They had multiple projects that they were working on. So a lot of people think that PlayStation just literally took $400 million and flushed it down the toilet on Concord. There are people that think that. And so they're like, why on earth would they keep doing this? I don't think Sony looks at it the same way at all. I think internally they're like, we're making a ton of money. We don't freaking care. Keep placing those small bets. I think that's how they view it. They're like, yeah, go ahead. I don't know if that's how they necessarily feel about Marathon, but I think that's how they feel about games like Fairgames. They're like, no, launch it. It might do well. It might make money. Who knows? You never know. Someone called the ASPCA. We got a lot of starving ponies out here. Huh? What are you talking about? The games they kept their hands out of are the successful ones? What do you mean they kept their hands out of? Gran Turismo 7 and MLB The Show and Helldivers 2, how did they keep their hands out of those? Those were games they either did publishing deals with or helped bring to the market or helped develop. I don't know what you mean. They're making a lot of terrible bets. Well, yes. And that's why, if you're going to cancel the thing that Bend is working on, you're going to cancel the thing that Bluepoint's working on. I don't know how Fairgames is still going. That's the thing that doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, well, just cancel that one too. Why would you just keep developing a game that, if you drop that game right now into the market, it just ain't no way. If you dropped it right now in the market, there's no way. People would be like, why did you make this? That we don't want this. There's having that broad appeal and that magic moment and that spark. I don't think a competitive heist shooter is it. I don't see it happening. Competition matters too. How do you mean? I really don't understand people. I really don't understand who is greenlighting these projects at Sony. Well, there's a couple of things that I think people misunderstand in the larger equation of live service. Number one, I don't know who I was watching the other day, and they uttered the sentence, PlayStation's live service mandate. That's literally not a thing. There was no mandate. So when people run with that narrative, it immediately casts the entire thing in this like negative shadow of, oh, well, there was a live service mandate. No, there wasn't. They allocated an increase of budget, an increase of funds for live service, and studios made pitches. And then studios got funding for those projects that they thought would work, whether it was Bend or whether it was Bluepoint with their pitch There was no mandate. They didn't kick the door in and tell Ben, hey, you're making a live service game whether you like it or not. I blame Herman. This was Jim Ryan. What are you talking about? This was Jim Ryan's initiative. Some of these decisions were made and greenlit by Shuhei Yoshida. What are you talking about? Some of the stuff that happened that didn't work out so well was Jim Ryan and Shuhei. This isn't all on Herman. I'm not saying Herman is pure here either. He made an enormous mistake with Concord, but this does not all fall on him. The 12 games by 2026 live service initiative, that was Jim Ryan. Source? What do you mean source? That's public knowledge. I don't need to source that. That's public knowledge. Under Jim Ryan, they came out and said, we're going to have 12 live service games out by 2026. Shuhei Yoshida has literally done interviews where he was a part of the greenlighting process for some of the live service games. He's done interviews. Like, this is public knowledge. Now, it's also public knowledge that, like, Herman Hulst thought Concord was going to be amazing, and we know that it wasn't. So, but I think that the picture that people keep missing, the bigger picture, is that PlayStation doesn't view it the way we view it. They don't view it the way we view it. They're like, we're placing small bets, man, and sometimes they pay off. Source, a 3-second Google search. Yeah, right here. Back in 2022, Sony plans on having 12 PlayStation Live service games by 2025. I think they bumped it back to 2026. Right here. Sony projects that it will have 12 PlayStation Live service games by the end of fiscal year 2025, according to an investor relations presentation headed by Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan. It was not Herman Hulst. It was Jim Ryan. This is Jim Ryan's baby, and it has not gone very well. Now, again, I would imagine this is when they started increasing their funding. I believe the presentation this was taken from, this is like slide number 6 or whatever about live service. I think there's a slide from this presentation that shows the increase in funding that they were giving to live service games as well. They were like going to give, they were going to spend more than they had ever spent, on single player games. And then they were also going to increase and spend more than they ever had on live service games. Homies, they're internally celebrating their live service profits. They are not at all internally rattled by Concord or, canceling the Blue Point stuff or the Ben stuff. They're not internally rattled at all. They internally celebrate, I have it on very good authority, that they internally are like, the live service thing's going great. We're making lots of money. Because again, I think in their mind, they're placing small bets. There was a Herman Hulst interview where I believe he even kind of talked about this. He said something to the effect of like, we're going to have games all across the spectrum of genre. We're basically what he was saying is, hang on. You're looking inside the car. Oh, you're installing. It's your. I said yes. They moved to California. Need it back. Oh, okay. Basically, what Herman Hulst was saying was, we're not going to make a bunch of Fortnites. Because I think that was the concern. You know what I mean? Not absolving Ryan, seeing what Herman's influence has been. Was it Ryan's idea or did he greenlight Herman's idea? Do we know? I mean, Jim Ryan was CEO. I mean, Herman was above studios at that point. Herman was not at that level. Herman Hulst, like, his job at that point was like, he was above the studios. I don't know if he came to the table and said, oh, let's do the live service thing. I believe that was Jim Ryan's idea. And listen, here's the thing we have to, it can't be so dichotomous where it's either a good idea or a bad idea. This is business. This is quite literally business. You see potential. Yo, thank you, YOLO, for the Prime over there on Purple. I appreciate it. You see a potential business venture, a potential, fertile field to sow in, and you go and you do, and then you reap as much as you can from that. And PlayStation is looking at their numbers and saying, we're making really good money on this live service thing. Now, all along the way, You're not making omelets without breaking eggs. We know this. Zyber, thank you so much for subscribing over there. 24 months on Purple. That's a lot of months. Thanks for that sub over there. So all along the way, they're canceling projects, they're canceling, endeavors, or they have the situation with Concord. And I think in their mind, they're like, yeah, we that's the cost of doing business. We know that's going to happen. It's not their first rodeo with canceling games. Like Shuhei said, they cancel games all the time. They overestimated how easy it would be to pivot studios to live service games. That was their error. If they had thrown more resources, it might have worked better. I don't know if resources were the answer. I think expertise was the answer. It's not an accident that the games that are doing well are coming from studios that have worked on similar projects. Like Helldivers 1 had ongoing content formats. Like they were familiar with it. Like it wasn't new to them to have ongoing content deliverables for a game. MLB The Show and GT7, right? Gran Turismo 7. These are established franchises with like built-in user bases. There's expertise and experience there. The games that haven't done very well have either been a trend chase, like with Concord, or you had Bend and Bluepoint working on stuff, and it's like, well, that's not their area of expertise. Or like what happened with Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog's like, we don't want to turn into a live service studio, and Bungie's like, well, what are you going to do to support it then? Who's going to support it? Like, you going to put an intern on this? A $5 super chat from True SSJ Havoc. I doubt it was all Ryan, though, unrelated. There are people saying Jim Ryan got fired. Despite staying for another 8 months, yet Phil retired. Here's the thing. We know that he wasn't fired. I'm to the point now with people like that. I'm just like, yeah, you're right. Because I don't want to talk to them. Yeah, you're right. Yep, Jim Ryan totally got fired, and Phil totally retired randomly in the 25th anniversary year of Xbox before all the celebrations could happen in the summer with the fans. Yeah, yep, you're right. Go away now. That's what I would say. I'm like, go away now. You're right. Zubair says, not disagreeing. They should have built out new studios with veterans with resources, not just give Naughty Dog cash. Well, here's the crazy thing about Naughty Dog's effort. That was Naughty Dog's decision. That wasn't even under the new leadership or the new directive for all the live service games. So the article we just read, in 2022, PlayStation's like, well, we're going to have all these live service games by 2025. 2022 is 3 years after Naughty Dog made the decision to pull The Last of Us factions out of The Last of Us Part 2. That's 3 years later. Naughty Dog had already pulled that trigger. There was no initiative from Sony yet to get like a bunch of live service games. There wasn't. Phil got fired. I find it incredibly hard to believe that he left. That was his choice of when to leave. I don't think that was something he decided. I think they graciously gave him what looked like a planned retirement. It makes zero sense, boys. It's the 25th anniversary of Xbox. You're about to do all these celebrations in the summer with the fans and with announcements and Halo and Gears. Like the year where they finally have Forza Gears Halo, they finally have the trifecta, and he's like, yeah, I'm out. I'm leaving now. Like, what? I don't know. I think he was fighting for the soul of Xbox with Satya Nadella for the entire time he was in the position, and I think Satya finally said, we're going in a different direction, Phil. In a single weekend. Yeah, the way it happened, the whole thing was awkward. The way he left was super awkward. It was like, what? And then the way Sarah Bond left, I don't think any of that. I think he was told, yeah, we're going another direction now, Phil. We tried all your stuff and it didn't work. I think when they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, I think that was literally like that egg timer that they use in movies. It's like, and it's like ding. Like that was literally an egg timer to his exodus. Because as soon as they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, that's something that Phil fought for. I think Satya said, okay. And when they lost $300 million because of it, and they've had to raise the price of Game Pass, and Ultimate and Move Day and Date and all of that, and now Now Asha Sharma's saying that like Game Pass is too expensive. You got people saying it's not sustainable. Gee, I wonder why it's not sustainable. You put one of the most popular games in history on Game Pass day and date instead of selling it, and you lost a ton of money, and it's made your subscription service more unsustainable than it already was. It was already unsustainable. And who are you going to blame? You're going to blame Phil. I think that was the end for him. Starfield didn't move the needle, and then Call of Duty didn't move the needle. And I think Satya said, all right, it's over. Bye. We're going another direction. We're going to bring in this young whippersnapper who's gonna try to whip this thing into shape. Yo, Bishop, thank you so much for using your Prime over there on Purple. I appreciate it. So the two men, as they exited, they just exited so entirely differently. It was like, this would have been the year for Phil to really do the victory lap and to be like, here's a new Gears, here's a new Forza, here's Halo. Like, I don't know. This would have been the year to really, really like bask in the 25th anniversary of like, we're still here, we're still fighting. We've got all these great plans. And instead he leaves awkwardly at the beginning, like early in the year. I don't think that was how it was meant to go down in his mind, at least. Play Anywhere is a better feature than Game Pass for me in every which way, says Ginger. So I think Game Pass needs to change in big ways. I bet it does. I bet it does. We've got internal documents now coming out of Xbox talking about how like games come to the market because of heroics or something. Like, I'm just like, wow, okay. Guys, make sure you're hitting the like button as you're coming in. That does help us out. Get us to 200 likes. I appreciate it so much. We're going to be on the show with Ginger. We usually put it's at 1, isn't it? I always get confused. Gaming Roundtable, set, start, show. There you go. I always get confused and think it's at noon. I don't know why I do that. 1 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Okie dokes. Okay. I thought I had a DM. Anyways, Play Anywhere seems to be the move forward. Can't kill the brand. Can't kill the brand and get our flowers. I'm not sure what you're talking about. AOZ says, Phil took a no viable approach that appealed to the masses. A not viable, I think, is maybe what you missed. His success was tied to mass adoption at an unprecedented scale. When it didn't work out, it suddenly became not their main plan. Asha wasn't hired to make radical changes. She was hired to execute Satya's plans. Well, after the interview with the co-CEO of Netflix, I was like, yeah, I think there's going to be some pretty big changes here. Because the guy from Netflix was like, he's like, I don't even think Microsoft has figured out how to make Game Pass work for them yet. And I'm like, what the frick? Like, that homie said that out loud. Game Pass has been around for how long? And the co-CEO of Netflix is like, yeah, I don't think they've really figured out how to make it work for Microsoft yet. That's what they're figuring out right now. So if Asha is quote unquote figuring out how to get, Game Pass to work, yeah, I would expect some pretty significant changes. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to couch it as making it more affordable and lowering the price. But in the process, I think day and date dies. It's not tenable. It's not sustainable. We've said this for years. We were told that we were wrong. We knew we were right. Anybody with a calculator could be like, how in the world does the calculus work here? You're spending millions of dollars on studios and projects and then letting people play them for, $10 a month at the time. And now it's, it's all the way up to 30, but it's just like, it still probably has absurd churn rates because now all you got to do is wait. You just have to wait. You're like, well, I'll wait, and then I'll buy it, and then I'll play 3 or 4 games, and then I'll cancel it. You could pay for it for 2 months, and you'd pay $60. And in the time that you spent that $60, you could play a silly amount of games, and then you could turn around and cancel it again. And when you do that, guess what? There's nothing there's no incentive for you to stay on it if that's how you start using it. So if they're experiencing any kind of churn rate like that, the odds are pretty high that they're looking at it and saying, well, this isn't working. You're putting huge pieces of property on a subservice, and you're not maintaining your subs. You're just having people jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out. Once you put it to 30, the behavior from the user base is probably high churn. Because it's $30. So it's like, well, I'll wait and I'll do $30. I'll play a couple of games, bigger titles especially, and then I'll cancel. If a big Xbox title comes out, in the 3rd month and then the 5th month, you just wait till that 5th month and you play both of them. Do you see? You just wait. Jack Garland with a 5-bomb gets us to 468. Thank you, Jack. Yo, what's good, Mike and Mike? How are you? They could increase day and date to like 45 a month. That's not tenable. The number of people that would cancel would be the highest ever. They'd break a record for most canceled subscriptions in a day if they took day and date and Ultimate all the way up to 45 friggin' bucks a month. That's like old school cable television bill, like Jiminy Christmas. The entire point is that it's supposed to be a high value offer. That ain't it at all. No way. They added Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is worth it in itself. Yo, what's good, Sketch? How are you? Happy Friday. Jose says, I like your recent collab streams. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. One of our goals this year was to, go on a bit of a rebuilding arc. You know what I mean? We got caught up in a lot of dumb stuff for a couple of years there. We had a lot of people and still got people try to run narrative on us. Well, you know what? Light's a really good disinfectant. We're just going to have a bunch of good times and good guests and make good content and let the haters hate. You know what I mean? That's my goal this year. Just start shaking more hands and having a good time. And I think you guys benefit. Good content comes from it. Buffets have never had the best food, says AOZ. And then when they do, like Las Vegas, the price is super expensive. If you can't make a premium buffet for cheap, you can't really make Game Pass. Dr. Pimp with a $2 super chat. The moment Game Pass went to 30, I was out. Yeah, so was I. I haven't had Game Pass in a long time, and I appreciate saving $30 a month. Love the new format, Lono. Guests are great. Thank you. I'm going to be on another thing today. I'm going to be on Ginger's Roundtable. You guys know that. And it'll be the first time I've ever been on a show with Detective Seeds, and the first time I've ever been on like a public appearance with Lord Incognito from Iron Lords. Or Lord Cognito, not Incognito. Lord Cognito from Iron Lords. I always mess that up because I think of the Iron Lords and I see the I in my mind, and I want to call him Incognito. It's Lord Cognito. Cog. We'll call him Cog. Alex with a 5-bomb over there on purple and gets us to 473. He says, have my canceled Game Pass funds. That's right. Thank you. He could be. That's right. My 2026 goal is to give you as many collabs as possible. I don't know why that's your goal, Ginger, but I appreciate it. And Cardoc Ren comes in with a big one over there on Twitch and gets us to 483. Why are my lights flickering? What the heck is going on? It's like a beautiful day out. It couldn't be more gorgeous. It's gorgeous out. They just flickered again. What is happening? Hopefully they're not like working in the neighborhood or something and they're going to knock the power out. Yeah, Yeah, something is happening. My lights keep dimming. A $2 super chat from Sketch. No way, collab with Lord Cog. He's the man. Thank you, man. I'm excited. He's going to be there today. Yes. A 5 bomb from Hidden Seer over here on YouTube and gets us to 488. Thank you so much. Someone says pay your bill. I'm just checking. No, I think my bill is auto. I think it's auto. Yeah, it's not even due. And Hidden Seer, thank you so much for getting us to the 488. And Cardoc Ren, you guys actually earned a gifted over there on Purple. Let me go ahead and do that now. Call Snow quick. Why do I need to call Snow? What's she need? There it is. Gifted member over there on Purple. Me adding to the total. Was joking. You know what's funny? They kept changing my build date. I don't know what was going on with the electric company. They kept changing the dadgum build date, and all of a sudden they'd be like, you're past due. And I'm like, well, originally it was due on like the 5th every month, and now it's due on the 20th, but that made it earlier the 1 month. And it was like, they got on me, and I was like, what the heck? It's doing it again. I wonder if it's just this light. I think it's just that light. The light bulb must be going bad. I don't think it's the power. It's because this one's not doing it. It's just, this is the main one that I see because it's like it's over my chat monitor. I think the light bulb's just going bad. Madam's doing some Russian spy stuff again. That's right, Mile High. That's right. Chat, we need 12 more members, says Haseo. Let's go. I really want to see if you guys can get the stretch this week. I'll pull out all the stops. We'll really go. We'll do a super long stream tomorrow night. We haven't done that in a while. We'll do a double header. We'll do a whole extra segment for you guys on a Saturday night. Sounds like you have Duke Energy. No, it's not Duke. If you guys can't gift a membership or do a membership or help with the membership total, that's totally fine. Yeah, it's the light bulb. The light bulb's going back. It's a stupid thing. Hang on a second, chat. No, it went. It burned out. Give me a second. I have light bulbs. I have. Hang on, I gotta turn it off. The show must go on. I can't find my light bulbs. told you I had them. I found them. Okay. I thought they were in here, and they were. So I checked there. I couldn't find them. So I went over to the unfinished side, and I was like, here are all of the light stands and extra umbrellas that I have. Where are all of my light bulbs? I'm like, I know I have like a ton. I bought like a box of them so that I just would never be concerned about it. It was in there, and it had like a thing draped over it. So I couldn't see the box. So, hang on. We've got some people doing some things. Drug Doc renews over there for 21 months on Purple. And then a gifted comes in from Mile High to get us to 490. We are 10 away from 500. Oh, it's getting bright, boys. It's a new bulb, and it's heating up. It's getting bright. I'm like, wow. Maybe I should change those bulbs every now and again. Jeepers. I'm like glowing. Thank you, Mile High, for another gifted and getting us to 491. He needs a 5-foot ladder to reach the fitting. The way you guys talk about my height, it's like you guys talk about me like I'm 2 feet tall, like I'm like a little, like a baby. What kind of light bulbs are you using? Incandescent? I don't know what they are. I don't know. They came with the stands and the umbrellas. They're Photo Studio Pro lights or some frick. You know what I mean? A DSP stream. Lono plays Cuphead and we try to raise money for his electric bill. No. I don't do the whole pay my bills thing. We don't do that here. You guys, it's a fan-funded channel. You keep the engine running with members and support. I'm not putting my bills in your lap. I don't do that. I do not do that. I'm not playing Cuphead. Although, maybe that's the stretch goal, is Madam and I play Cuphead tonight. I've wanted to go back to Cuphead with her. I had another plan for us to play something for you guys, but you'll have to see if you can unlock the surprise. You have 2 hours to unlock the surprise. He just bought them. I know that. At least it's working. I've had those light bulbs for a while, actually. I want my dono back. Oh, Johnny Always with a $2 Euro tip says this stream is community funded. Bulb dono. I already had the light bulbs, you fricks. You get out of here. I don't do that. I never. If I were going to do some kind of a big, huge trip to LA or something and it was a business opportunity, we might do that. But I don't even want to do that. That's not even in the cards. I got people trying to get me to travel all over the dadgum place. Like, you should come to this event. And I'm like, I don't have time, care, concern, or money for that. Go out west. How'd you like Mouse PI for Hire? I have a review on the channel. I like it very much. I can't wait to finish it. I got about halfway through, I think, on PC, and now I had to start over again on PlayStation 5. They sent me a code for PlayStation 5, but it was taking too long. So, yeah, I'm 5'6", Fruiter. Yeah, I'm pocket-sized, apparently. Didn't we buy this guy a TV? I didn't ask for that. You guys did that on your own. You, like, secretly organized it. I didn't even ask for that. You know? There's a really nice Sony camera that I want right now, and I'm not doing like a fundraiser for it. I gotta pay the tax man first. The light shows how pale you are. You're gonna get sunburnt. Indoors. That's how pale I am. That's right. Why didn't you tell me that Yote is huge? I'm never gonna finish it. Sorry. Come to think of it, don't we pay your bills? Didn't that one guy say that the one day? He's like, I pay your bills. I'm like, you do? The TV is taller than Lono. We weren't being nice. They had to free him of his 720p lifestyle. Lono needs the Sony camera now. Essential bourbon. Yes. Lono and Charlie Moist Critical are the same fun size. Yes. We're both similar in height. I'd swap him for his sub count, though. That homie can put out a video and be like, I was thinking the other day that every time I spend $1, I spend $1. Anyways, I went to the movies and 2 million views later, it's just Charlie talking about a movie. It's like, come on, man. What a guy. What a guy. I like his content, though. I get why people like him. He's funny. He's so unassumingly entertaining. No matter how many games you have access to, you can only play one at a given time unless you can take the time to fully complete a game. Well, that's why I think more and more people are going to be doing that. More and more people are going to be doing that. They're going to be signing up for something like Game Pass and then canceling it. He turned off members because he had made enough money. Absolutely Giga Chad. I mean, homie, it's, yeah. You guys remember when I was the fourth and fifth year on Twitch covering Destiny, I never did goals or any of that. We just were we were flying high. We just did our thing. You know what I mean? That reset button hurt. What Lona really wants? I actually have been wanting speakers for the office because sometimes I just don't want to sit here and wear frickin' headphones, but I don't know about these ones. These Sony ones do look pretty cool, though. 422 in here. Let's get to 200 likes, says Hadigan. Thank you, Hadigan. I realize Charlie's humor is a lot like Dennis Miller. He just replaces obscure 70s movie TV references with anime. What's good, Sir Mosley? How are you? See my last. Hilly says, the best part of the TV was all the fake stuff in chat. I need to protect my reputation, and Eugene going to bat for Zelda. No, he was being critical of Zelda, wasn't he? What did I main in Destiny? I didn't really have a main. I think when I just did like my day-to-day stuff, I was really, really big on Titan, but then I fell in love with the Hunter Blade. The Shards of Galanor build was really fun until they nerfed it, but even then I still loved it. And a 5-bomb comes in from Mick D09 and gets us to 496. We're right on the doorstep of the weekly goal. And there it is. Haseo's going to do a single to get us to 497. Haseo's going to... Yeah, I mained Orbit. That's right. I was the only person in the game who mained my ship. And Malice One's going to take us over the line with a 5-bomb on Twitch. You guys are now working on the stretch goal. Stop lying, you mained Orbit. Yes, there it is. Everyone's making that joke now. Something about weapons breaking down was stupid. Set Lono right off. Yeah, Eugene said that the number on the weapon was the number of weapons that you had in your inventory. And I was like, that's the level of the weapon, Eugene. He's like, why do I need 13 swords? I was like, it's not 13 swords. The sword is the level 13. See you Saturday night, says Banshee. Thanks so much, Banshee, for 36 months. If you guys want stretch now, you'll have to rally and get the big boys. You got 2 hours. You guys could easily do it, but you'll need some of those crazy boys to come in here. Jay Hart with 13 months. Just pre-ordered Saros. A little over a week left. Can't wait, dude. Let me get you in on this total. And I owe Twitch a member. Don't get it twisted, says Jakob. It was the place to go to talk Destiny. Let's not forget. And they took it away from us. Yeah, how'd that work out for them and that directory? That was a great thing they did, you know? They brought all the old uniforms back so that they could then just go do other things and let the directory die. What a brilliant strategy that was. Free funneled live community feedback every day. Nuked it from orbit. Brilliant strategy. Having a tangible product that I can show later, and a single gifted comes in from Siege Master. He's like, let's bait it. He's setting the bait for the 20 bomb. He's like, get the train started, boys. Did you ever end up reading King in Yellow? I'm halfway through it, Sketch. It's freaking weird. It's a hard read. I wouldn't say it's written particularly well. The author is not the most gifted author. There are times where it's very good, and then just the moment-to-moment descriptive stuff is just not very good. If you guys are just tuning in, there's all kind of things going on in gaming news. You can bring up and talk about whatever you want. We're kind of all over the place as we're killing time, and we're waiting to go to the roundtable with Ginger. I will be playing Pragmata today. You can submit questions with the question command. You can help us with the big, huge stretch goal for Saturday night. It turns the night into a double header where Madam and I end up doing basically a second segment where we play a game in the second segment. And I've got a surprise plan for you guys if we hit that stretch goal. And Jaggy's going to help with big 60 months. That's a lot of months. Thanks for renewing over there, Jaggy, on Purple. You guys could get a treasure train on Twitch, but you're going to have to hustle. You have to get that second check mark to fill. I don't know how that works. How does this work? How do you unlock the treasure train? We could hit stretch goal with the treasure train on Twitch because you get 35% off, but I don't know how to do it. It just says we have a minute and a half. I don't get it. That's popped up before, and then we don't get it. Looks like Yote's 60 hours completionist, so I guess I'll get to Pragmata during the winter. Lono, did you ever? I read that. Pretty sure it was Opulence. Last thing. I have a PS5 as well. I have Soros guaranteed on day one through Gamefly. $15 versus $70. Is that not worth it? I can't imagine renting Soros, but man, to each his own. I don't know. You guys are debating the merits of renting games, it looks like. Do you think Capcom will do something with Dragon's Dogma? In what way? Like a third game or a DLC? I'm not quite sure what you're asking me, Anthony. If we hit stretch goal, what are you going to play? It's a surprise. It is a surprise. I tell you what, if you guys hit stretch goal, we'll do the surprise, and maybe we'll do Cuphead as well. The last time Madam and I tried to play Cuphead, it was an experience. We'll try again, and that's it. That's the offer. If we'll play Cuphead, and then we'll do my surprise. We'll do both. But y'all are going to have to hustle. Oh, like a DLC? Yeah, I don't know if they have plans for Dragon's Dogma 2. There were moments in Destiny that were just something else. Early season of Opulence was something else. I remember it fondly. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a $70 purchase versus having Game Pass and Gamefly, which makes more sense to bait. Yeah, Xbox rumored first-party Game Pass tier could cap your cloud gaming allowance. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Insider Gaming's reporting that that's a potential reality. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's going to be one of the biggest problems with cloud gaming is if they cap anybody. Like, who wants to do that? Who wants to put up with that? Yeah, the merits of doing like something like Game Pass or Gamefly versus a $70 purchase or whatever. Yo, Cloud is clutch and says, stuff's popping off for you in the stream. Good to see, bro. I remember after you got canceled, it was really slow start here on YouTube. Glad to see things turning around for you and the family. Well, I appreciate you saying that, man. And listen, we got a lot of people in the background right now in our corner. And so we're trying to kind of, get back what was lost, friendships, partnerships, all of that. So a recent post by Capcom suggests that DLC is in the poster artwork of Dragon's Dogma. And Joker Quinn comes in with a single gifted and gets us to 507. He's like, let's work on this stretch goal, boys. Let's make Madam and Lono play Cuphead. People who can't game all the time can't justify $45 a month for games they may not have time to play. Right, like the merits of subservice rental kind of an approach to gaming versus buying games, right? here's the thing. It really depends on the person. Because if for you, you're like, yeah, this $15 a month, or like, as you said, $45 a month, it's not bad because I get to sample so many games. I'm constantly rotating through games. And if that's like a huge value point for you, then that's great. If you're like me, I can't do that. I have to basically play one game at a time. The only reason I play 2 games at a time right now is because of my wife. I'll be playing through something for the stream or for the channel that I'm wanting to talk about. And then we were playing Pal World for 40 hours. We just hit close to 50. I don't even know how many hours it was that we played Sworn. I tried to cancel. He only grew stronger. What are you talking about, Cisco? Let me look here. Yeah, I got to 47 hours in Sworn with my wife. So that's the only reason I play more than one game at a time now is because of her. Ordinarily, I would not do that. I just wouldn't. I'm typically on one game a month. So the rental service, like Game Pass approach and all of that, it doesn't do me any good. It doesn't help me. It ends up being like it ends up being more of a distraction of feeling like, oh, I've got to play these games. And listen, I love a good distraction, but that's not how I want to game. I don't want to feel this pressure to be like, hey man, you got to take advantage of this. You got to be moving through these games. What's the stretch goal? We'll do a second segment tomorrow night with Madam where we have to play Cuphead. I also have another surprise for you guys tomorrow night, but I'm not going to reveal it unless you guys hit the goal. I'm going to hold that one back. Madam and I will do some extra segments for you guys tomorrow. No matter what, we're streaming tomorrow, reacting to gaming news. Cat Attack with $10 super chat says, I was doing the rough math per your discussion earlier about server cost. On average, if you're using AWS to host servers, it costs about $150,000 a month to host roughly 50,000 players. I don't know where you did your research, but good golly, that seems ridiculously expensive. Wow. We've always rented games from Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, plus needing to pay for the membership to either store paid subscriptions has been the thing. The concept's not new. Oh, he was talking about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and yeah. That'd be a very different game, Cisco. That would be a very, very different game that I think would have a very different target audience, that's for sure. In any case, thank you to all the new subscribers today. Folks hitting subscribe, folks hitting like. Thank you so much. We're almost at 200 likes. I own all 3 consoles, says Old Dad Gamer. I don't have to spend $70 on a game ever. Yeah, it all comes down to the user. I think that's the problem, is that when someone's coming from their perspective on the subject, they're like, this is such a great deal. How could you possibly not want to do this deal? And then somebody else is like, that seems so stupid. Why would I want to do that? I like to buy my games. You know what I mean? When are you playing Pragmata? Yeah, after the show with Ginger, yes. How much for 300 players? I wouldn't mind like $5 or $10 for a game rental, have access to it for X amount of days. Yeah, here's why I don't find rental of a game appealing. I would rather just be able to play a demo or a trial. Like, I pay for the premium, and I've done that many times now. No, the stream's not scheduled yet. I'll send you it once it is. I'll probably schedule it like 15 minutes before you and I do, before we go live. So, I'll still be here live, and then I'll just send you the link. Yeah. We're going to bounce you guys around today a little bit. I'm going to bounce you around. Pause. We're going to send you over to the show with Ginger, and then we're going to come back here for Pragmata. That's what we're going to do. Let's see. It's always better to own. Is it, though? Like, it's better to own if that's your purview. There are plenty of people that just don't see it that way. They're like, no, I go through games. There are people that they just don't even finish games. They're just always grazing. You ever met one of these psychos? Have you ever met one of these psychopaths that just graze and they never finish a game? Yeah. They're probably single. They struggle with commitment, but there are plenty of people that are like, I don't really need to own a game, dude. I'm constantly grazing. I'm constantly in a game for a couple of hours, maybe a day or two, and then I move on to something else. I think that's honestly a very, very common thing. I think it's crazy. I can't imagine doing that. I can't imagine engaging with games in that way. I am one of those psychopaths, says Roundtable in 2 hours. Yes. You guys have approximately 2 hours to hit the stretch goal. So make sure, celebrate your renewals and your primes. Those add up. You guys can really push the line without even, you're already spending. It doesn't cost extra to celebrate. If everyone stopped buying games, then we would be hurting. Sure, but I don't think that the average, trend within consumer behavior is going to go in that direction. People aren't just going to suddenly start renting. I would use Game Pass to demo games, and if I like them, I would buy it on PlayStation, says Gone Kid. Gamefly has Game Lock as well. Guaranteed day one games. BMO Careful says, with the first-party Game Pass tier, do you think they'll try to use that to get on PlayStation and Nintendo? I don't know. I don't think PlayStation and Nintendo are going to want a rival subservice. Yo, Nick coming in with 13 months says, can't wait for Pragmata tonight. They did a great job on the Pro 2. Goes all the way up to 110 in performance. Oh, Nick's getting ready to kiss his PlayStation 5 Pro again. I'm excited to play it this afternoon, man. I'm very, very excited. And then tonight, my wife's going to be gone, so it's going to be a late night game night for me, dude. I'm going to be on that couch gaming. I almost never get to do that. She's doing a thing with her friends, and I'm like, all right, you go have fun, babe. I'm gaming, boys. Can't wait. Reviews look great. It does. Why doesn't Steam go to a Game Pass rental system if it's so wanted? She's taking the kids. Oh, no, she's not taking the kids. No. But Friday night's a great night for me to tell the kiddos, you got to go to bed. No, don't be coming down here and bothering me and asking me questions, just trying to extend. You know how kids are. They like to extend the bedtime. I'm like, tomorrow's Saturday. Y'all are going to want to play some video games. So go to bed where you won't be able to. Pizza for the kids, time on the game. That's it, dude. Ginger knows the cheat code, man. He's pulling out the pizza cheat code. Dad's in charge. That's right. I feel like an idiot now that I think about it. PlayStation Plus Premium, I could be using it like a rental service right now, and I don't. Yeah, you should be regularly capitalizing on the trials. Hey, Mr. Pork Pie's in chat. 45 months. Hello, Lono. Currently in California watching your Friday show on vacation. Well, Pork Pie, enjoy your vacation, man, and thank you for being here. We're doing a lot today, and hopefully you can watch all of it, Pork. We're going to be doing this show, and so you guys have 2 hours left if you want to hit this, and then I'm going to do a show with Ginger. We're going to be over there with Lord Cognito and Detective Seeds, and then I'm going to be playing Pragmata. So you guys have a lot of content for your Friday. Thank you so much for being here. Taking my parents too, so they buy the snacks. Yeah, this guy, you got all the cheat codes. You know what I mean? Whiskey helps to sleep. I'm not going to do that. Who's Ginger? Ginger Prime. I've been on his roundtable like 6 times now, I believe. I think that's the count. Nick says, that feeling when the kids and the wife are in bed, all the house chores are done, and there's nothing else to do but pop a cold one and No Life, your favorite game. That's what I'm saying. Broken Earth with a single gifted gets us to 510. If you guys want the doubleheader tomorrow night, right? You've been watching all so far. Well, thank you, Pork Pie. If you guys want the doubleheader tomorrow night, Madam and I will play Cuphead, and then I have a surprise in store for you guys. You're going to need 240 members in 2 hours. That is a task. Whiskey does the body good. I actually was thinking about that tonight. I was like, I actually want to be able to play the video games and get a lot accomplished. I was like, so I think what I need to do is keep the bourbon on the shelf and just slow sip some light beer the whole night. Just, just take it easy, boys. I need to be able to get some game time in. You get a couple bourbons in and you're like, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing in this game anymore, Let's just put a movie on. And then the next day I'm like, dang it, I had all that time I could play a video game, You got to keep that bourbon on the mantle. Give us a hint on the next guest. Yesterday's was too easy. Well, what do you mean yesterday's was too easy? You knew. She told you. I actually don't have another guest lined up just yet. There are some exciting things afoot, but nothing actually lined up. I'm in conversations with folks. There is a really, really cool thing that I recorded that we're hoping goes out at some point in time. We're still waiting on that. So, I swear she did not. How the frick did you guess then? I don't know how you guessed, because I didn't even say the name of the dadgum game. There seems to be an emergency in my house. I'm out of scotch. Sir, yes, that is an emergency. The PlayStation 6 ray tracing will be 3 times faster ray tracing, not 10 times in the PS5 via Kepler. Yeah, so Kepler is saying that Moore's Law is correct, that the ray tracing will be faster, but not 10 times faster. It's going to be 6 times faster. So, whatever the heck that means. Yeah. The first beer doesn't get slow sip though. Yeah, I know. Listen, this isn't my first rodeo, Biggie. I live in Kentucky. I know how to have a good time. Don't you worry. The next guest is Laura Fryer. I need to reach out to Laura Fryer. That would be a really, really fun guest. She is a dadgum rock star. How will Pragmata perform on the base PS5 Slim? Well, the base PS5, there's not really a Slim. Whether you have the original PS5 or the new smaller version, they're the same with respect to power. So performance-wise, looks very good. I mean, they got the thing to run well on the Switch too. I wouldn't have any concerns. Check your Discord. What are you sending me? What are you DMing me here? You on his show today? Oh yeah, yeah. She kind of let you know. She let you know. Whatever. She is my new best pal in gaming. She's the best. The fact that we got to commiserate on Sekiro, Ishin, and Returnal all in one run, that was an experience for me as a gamer. Doesn't Saurus run 4K 60 on the base PS5? Something like that. It's upscaled, but the base resolution's higher on the Pro, I think. So we're doing IRL Kentucky Derby stream on May 2nd. I can't do that, no, because it'll get copyright claimed, and I'm a gaming channel. We'll probably do a little Derby party with our neighbors is probably what we'll end up doing. I would actually love to go to the Derby. I've lived here for, 24 years. I've never gotten to go. Yeah. Cross has been reacting to her vids. She's very insightful on the dev side of things. She is. Yeah. Giza with 47 months of subs. Renewing over there on Twitch. I don't care. Pro's already awesome. Anything on top is just extra icing. Yeah, I mean, I have been very pleased with the Pro and the performance on the Pro. I have zero complaints. It's obviously a bummer when something happens like what happened with Starfield, but that's just Bethesda being Bethesda. 95% of the games that have come out have tapped into the Pro very well. What is this? You've been once. It's such a good time. You went 2 years ago. I have a friend who goes and is very, he's in that bracket, right? He's a very well-off guy, and he cycles through friends to take. I think it'll be our turn 1 year. I'm just, patiently waiting to get that phone call. Like, yes, we will. We'll go. We'll go with you for sure. Yo, it's good, Khaled. How are you? OG Khaled in the house. That's right. I've been pleased with PlayStation this gen. I have as well. Yeah. I wish they were a little bit more transparent with the marketing. I wish they wouldn't have done what they did with some of the, some of the live service stuff with like Blue Point and stuff. I still think that the shutting down of Blue Point is a short-sighted decision. I think that studio was worth holding on to. I don't think their production costs were that high. Never been to the Derby? You cannot claim to be a Kentuckian until you've been. Well, I'm sorry. I've had a lot of other things going on. If I wouldn't have lost everything 6 years ago, we probably would go every year. We were headed toward that like level of being able to just do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's where I was 6 years ago. We were heading to the moon. So so yeah, we'll go when it's right. We'll go when it's meant to happen. Same with me. Buddies in that world invited me. That's the way to do it, dude. So between Oblivion Remaster and Starfield, it's not looking great for Bethesda ports to PlayStation. The Oblivion Remaster had issues in general, did it not, though? It wasn't specific to PlayStation. I thought they fixed a lot of that stuff. I swear Kentucky has as many horses as we have cows in Oklahoma. Probably not, but it's probably close. We do have a lot of horses. We also have a lot of... why did we get so many hits today? Oh, were we getting people looking for Black Flag? We've not been talking about Black Flag at all, and that's probably a bad thing. I think we're getting hits for Black Flag on search. That's the only dilemma with doing multi-topic is you put something in the title and description. Yeah, frick. We got like a 25% search volume today, and it's almost all Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Dadgummit. Whoops. Well, maybe we should talk about Black Flag. Because I got an eyelash that's fighting me. Golly, it's like being rebellious. Yeah, we should probably try to talk about Black Flag a little bit. What do you guys think? We can probably do something with this. Not interested in horse racing, but have you seen the corgi races? That's abuse, Talik. I'm just kidding. You shouldn't support greyhound racing, though. It's actually horrible for them, and it shortens their life expectancy, and it ruins their hips. It's terrible. Anyways, the Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Yeah. Let's get on this. Let's talk about this for a little bit. So the rumor, or not the rumor at this point, this is a flat-out claim being made by Insider Gaming. They're claiming that the presentation specifically stated that Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake will not be an RPG. They're not doing the RPG-ification of AC. So, in light of that, I'm curious where you guys land. Are you excited that they're not doing that? Were you hoping they were going to do that? Do the Origins treatment? I, for one, am glad, because I think they can then focus on just making a really great remake. Trying to shoehorn RPG into it would have fundamentally, I think, been an immense waste of time. But I also think it would have changed the game. Like, the substance of the game would have been completely different if they did that. So I don't necessarily know if anybody's going to complain about that. I like that they did it in Origins. I really thought it played well in AC Shadows. The problem with AC Shadows wasn't the RPG-ification. It was Yasuke, and it was the frickin' stuffed map. I didn't enjoy playing the original, but I really want to see how the remake goes, so I'll get it. I love the naval combat. Yeah. Could never get into AC back then. Hopefully this one gets me. Hadigan, you should not be allowed to use AI. There should be a law. Like there should literally be a law against you should be banned. You should be banned. This should be illegal. You should have your access to AI permanently revoked forever, for all eternity. Like God himself, if he decides to let you into heaven, which at this point you probably aren't making it, bud. But if he lets you in, I think even there he'd be like, "No, not here either, my man. You're not allowed." You know what I'm saying? You're You're the devil. That's terrible. That's truly terrible. I like how it changed my wedding band to like a silver wedding band, though. I have that ring. I have a ring that looks exactly like that. I just don't wear it. It's not comfortable. It's like it doesn't fit anymore. It's too small. Background in Tomorrowland? Yeah, dudes. Like, here I am. Here I am, trackside for the 152nd Kentucky Derby 2026, representing the PlayStation Nation for some reason. Pork Pie says, I believe that the way the original Black Flag played was such a great game that for them to say that they're not changing the game is a beautiful thing. Well, I looked at it from this perspective, Pork Pie. If you're thinking about Assassin's Creed Black Flag getting remade, like if that's the plan, you're doing a remake, okay, great. They can focus on making the remake really good. If you're trying to shoehorn RPG mechanics in, well, now you're talking about fundamentally dragging bandwidth away from what matters. So more than likely, you would have seen it not be a great remake. It probably would have been a so-so remake, a mediocre remake, whatever. I'm seeing that Pragmata, the main story is 8 to 12 hours. If you do like a complete run, it's 25. That sounds like perfect for that kind of game. I didn't imagine playing that game for 50 or 30. Blood of the Dawnwalker from former CD Projekt Red dev is playable from start to finish on the PS5. Devs confirm it won't use AI in development. Okay. Needs more mint julep. We'll have plenty of mint juleps coming. You know what I mean? Listen, guys, we're getting a lot of folks coming in looking for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake or AC Black Flag. They're wanting to know about it, so make sure and welcome them in if they come in and have questions about it. Make sure and answer their questions. And in an hour and 40 minutes, I'm going to be doing the round table with Ginger. I'm going to be doing a round table with Ginger, as well as Lord Cognito from the Iron Lords podcast, as well as Detective Seeds will also be over there. I always take my time. Will probably be about 20 hours. Never been to the AC games. This takes Sony Pony to a whole new level. Yeah, going to the Kentucky Derby and being a Sony Pony at the Kentucky Derby would be very meta. You know. I don't want to say meta. No metagaming here. No metagaming here. Love you, Peanut. We're not doing any of that here. Oh, golly. I played the original Assassin's Creed. I think like the second one says Mile High. I like the games, but I didn't stay with the series. If I was going to jump in again, which one should I play? If you were going to jump into Assassin's Creed again, I would do... Oh, gosh. You could do Brotherhood. That's considered one of the best. You could do... Unity is considered to have the best parkour at this point in time. If you want to taste of what I think is the best RPG-ified Assassin's Creed, then you would play Origins. So Odyssey's too dense, Valhalla's too big, AC Shadows it doesn't flow well because of Yasuke. So like Origins, if you want the RPG, I think at its peak, I think that's the best one. Creature's going to say Valhalla, but Valhalla is like the first single-player MMO before Crimson Desert. Valhalla is literally Mount Everest. It's the biggest freaking game out of all of them. I don't know if any Assassin's Creed's 1 through 5 could probably fit into Valhalla. Valhalla's basically a really amazing Viking MMO that you play by yourself. I think that's what it is. AC Valhalla is a Viking single-player MMO that you can play by yourself. You can live in Valhalla, for hundreds of hours. Brotherhood or Assassin's Creed 2, if you want the more classic Assassin's Creed experience, Assassin's Creed 2 or Brotherhood. If you want a big Assassin's Creed that people claim has the best parkour, then you would play, which one was that? Frickin' Unity. Those are all, that's how I would do it. That's how I would do it. You bounced on Odyssey. Odyssey was just so freaking big. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's such a thing as just like, what the heck is going on here? Like, Jiminy Christmas. It felt insurmountable as a game. I just didn't have an inroad. I felt like I was playing a dadgum encyclopedia. It was so big. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't hang. Sorry. There is such a thing as too much game, and I definitely felt that way playing Odyssey. I don't even know how many hours I got in. I got a couple hours in, and I was like, I can't freaking do this. Can't do it. Yo, it's good. Keeg the Geek. How are you? Valhalla was such a chore. I gave up after beating Valhalla in the Odyssey story. If you guys can only pick one, don't make a recommendation. You're not making a recommendation now. Let's forget that. If you could only pick one AC game that you were going to play and you couldn't get access to the rest of them, which one would you pick? I would pick Origins. Like, I just loved it. I thought the story was great. I loved the world. Black Flag, says Lone Wolf. You're only allowed to pick one. The rest of them you're never allowed to touch ever again. You like the one in Egypt? That's Origins. Valhalla, another Black Flag, another Black Flag. A lot of Black Flag fans here. Odyssey, Origins, Black Flag. We're getting a lot of same answers. We're getting a bounce between a lot of Black Flags, some Odysseys, some Origins. We got an AC2 in the chat. AC3 for me. I'd pick Odyssey. Keep it going. Keep that chat humming. It's supposed to minimize disruptions anyway. Valhalla, Black Flag. Origins. Okay. Crimson Desert, hold my beer. Yeah, there can be such a thing as too big of a game. Brotherhood was my favorite, says Giza, but I stopped playing them after AC3. You would pick 2. AC2. No Rogue fans. Origins was awesome. I really need Unity. Big time, played every single one. Assassin's Creed fans will tell you that Unity has the best parkour. That's what I consistently hear. I consistently hear that has like the best parkour. That was the one with all the crazy glitches when it first came out. And then they, apparently, I'm assuming they fixed them all. Revelations was pretty good. I did the mistake of, I had slept on the Assassin's Creed series. I'd kind of slept on it. And all of a sudden I decided I wanted to play it. And I played AC1, 2, Brotherhood. I got to Revelations and I was burned out. I was like, oh, frick, I shouldn't have done this. I was really burned out. I couldn't continue. Only Unity has co-op. I'm extremely bummed that the plan to bring co-op to AC Shadows apparently got shelved. That to me was immensely disappointing. I was really, really hoping that could be something that Madam and I could play together. Because a big game like that, it's a lot easier to live in a game like that and to put the time in and to do all the things. It's a lot easier to do that when you've got somebody to share it with. I have a really hard time living in a game like that. Living in a game where, I'm that's why Crimson Desert being like a single player MMO, that actually is like a turnoff for me. I know for other people, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so great. This is so amazing. But for me, no. It's like a no. Syndicate's underrated. Syndicate was pretty cool. Syndicate didn't feel like a Syndicate did not feel like an Assassin's Creed game to me. Syndicate felt more like an open world kind of big city Sherlock Holmesian adventure or something. It didn't necessarily feel like an AC game to me. That was just, I've obviously got my own preferences and my own take on things, but that one didn't feel like an AC game to me, and I liked it. I had a good time with it, but it did not feel like an AC game to me. Are they changing the combat for the Black Flag remake? They've not spoken to the combat. All we know about the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake is that it's shipping July. It's shipping like early July. I forget the actual date now. But not only is it shipping early July, it is also not going to be getting the RPG thing done to it. It's going to be the original game remade, completely remade. But as far as the combat goes, I don't know how much they're going to do with it. They could maybe, modern it up a bit, make it feel a little bit better. The combat in Black Flag needs some improvement. Yeah, I feel like if you went back and you played some of these older AC games, you'd be like, man, these are great, but the combat leaves, a lot to be desired for. Two main characters was a mistake. Yeah, July 9th. Thank you. Yes. So the AC Black Flag remake is set for July 9th of this year. When I first heard about an Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, I thought, it's interesting that they chose this one. Do you guys feel like if this is a commercial success, they'll do another one? And if they do decide to do another one, which one do you think that they would do? Like AC2 or Brotherhood would be what I would think. I mean, I don't know if they'd want to go back and do the first, but doing Black Flag, to me, it's like, okay, maybe they do. Maybe they go back and do some others if they're really successful. Like if Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake is like top in sales charts, I mean, it's big franchise, man. There could be a lot of people that decide they like it and they want it, and maybe they decide to do another one. I don't know which one they would do though. Did anyone like AC Mirage? AC Mirage. Which was that? Oh, that was like the return to form. I remember having a good time with it. That's in my backlog. I was thinking about going back and playing through it again. I just haven't had a hankering for it. You kind of have to be in the mood for certain games, And I feel like that's one where I'd have to be in the mood for Mirage, because it really is. It's a smaller game. It's not it's not an enormous game. It's more stripped down. Yeah. Mirage was boring. Mirage didn't do it for me, and I played all of them. It's got Agdashlu in it. She's great, but I mean, if you don't like the gameplay, it don't really matter, right? I played Mirage and dropped it. It was fun at times, but the story was so boring. Are you going to stream Pragmata today? I will be streaming Pragmata today. We are going to go to Ginger's show. We're going to go to the Gaming Roundtable. It'll be me, Ginger, Lord Cognito from Iron Lords, and Detective Seeds. It should be a really, really good time. And then we're going to come back here for Pragmata. You guys have unlocked the stream tomorrow with Madam. You got the 500. So Madam and I will stream tomorrow night. She'll react to the week's gaming news. We're going to do a second segment tomorrow, and we'll play Cuphead together. And then I've got a surprise for you guys as well. But you'll have to hit the stretch goal, which we didn't hit the goal last week, and we haven't hit stretch in a while. So you've got time. You got an hour and a half, but you'll have to bat signal some of the big boys probably to get us all the way there. We're still a ways away from stretch. What are the topics on the round table? I think they said the starting topic was like how great Reforged Gaming is, how handsome I am, and then I forget. I don't know if we're going to have time for anything else. Let's see. I don't actually know if Ginger has said what the subjects are. I mean, I could click on the link here. We got Xbox's hints at exclusivity. We've got Game Pass is too expensive. Starfield on PS5 not landing as strongly as some expected. Maybe Marathon comes up because they did some stuff this week. They did some stuff this week. Mirage and Shadows are the only two I don't own. Just a heads up, Detective Seed says he has a family emergency and will have to reschedule. Totally understandable. Wait, Seeds can't be on today? Oh, it's going to be me, you, and Ka. We'll figure it out. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Well, hopefully he can figure out whatever it is he's trying to figure out. AC1 overhyped, AC2 decent, the rest crap. Wow, M. Gene. Wow. AC1 overhyped, AC2 decent, the rest crap. Let me ask you something. Have you actually played the rest of them? Like, I would think if that's your opinion, you just stopped playing them, which is fine, but it seems a bit harsh, to say the rest are crap if you haven't played them. I mean, I'm not saying you have to play them to say you don't like them. If you watch people play them, Hang on. Unfortunate news indeed. Right. That's a wild take. AC1's the OG. Come on now. Hope everything's okay with his family. Best is Origins. I really liked Origins. Ezio Trilogy was great. Nah, the first game got me into the series, says Solomon. I played all the ones that come after it on launch as a result to this day. He's not wrong. AC2 was peak. I mean, he said it was decent, though. Hey, Lone, I think you should start doing roundtable sessions with some of your subscribers. It can be a risk, though, considering the craziness that some try to debate about. I mean, I love y'all, but I'm not pulling any of you guys on to the show. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I'm not having any of you guys on the show right now. One was brutal but necessary, says Malice One. It was a little too repetitive and didn't have much freedom, but they definitely found their lane in AC2. He's afraid that I'm right about everything. Right. That's a disaster in the making. We used to do like VIP call-ins, but the problem with doing stuff like that is there's like 10 people willing. Out of those 10 people, 3 of them have good mics. And then out of the 3 with good mics, 1 or 2 of them can get on the mic and talk and be sort of on point. So your odds are pretty bad. The odds are you're going to get somebody who doesn't have a great mic and doesn't have the greatest ability to like capture their thoughts quickly and concisely. So there's going to be a lot of ums and uhs and like, you know what I mean? It's the odds are not in our favor. A lot of y'all are working during the day. Like, you're not sitting there anxious with a nice microphone to hop on and do a discussion where all of a sudden you have to be like on and doing like a good job. You know, it's a big ask to ask for folks to suddenly be doing that kind of a thing. I have to record myself for work, and yeah, I suck at it. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to request of people. Hey, Chrono's giving us a raid, boys. Thank you so much, Mr. Chrono. Audio quality is key. It's always key. You know? It's always key. Because people will watch a video that has good audio and not great video. You know? They'll do that. They won't put up with bad audio. People are way more likely to stop listening to something if the audio is bad. Is it bad that I hated Black Flag? I got it included with my Xbox One bundle, and I played it for an hour, and I haven't touched it since. I don't think anybody's going to hold it against you. I think back then, there was actually a debate. I feel like I remember people saying that they didn't really like Black Flag as an Assassin's Creed game. There were people that didn't like it. I think the emphasis on the boats and the naval combat turned some people off. You know, it's a very different AC game. The physical cases for Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight on PS5. The game will be available in hard copies in Brazil. Just Brazil? This game's going to go hard, homies. This game's going to go hard. I think it's going to win some awards. I think it's going to take Family Game of the Year, no doubt. No doubt it's taking Family Game of the Year. At least that's my prediction. You think Pokopia? Oh, frick, you're right. Pokopia. Well, how do they classify Family Game? Can you play Pokopia with other people, though? What's the category? Let's see. The Game Awards. How do they classify that category? Because I don't know, if you can't play Pokopia with other people, it might not be in the running. Let's see here. Let's see. Family Game. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, they had Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Split Fiction, and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Pokopia's multiplayer as well. Online, or can you like play it in your house with like another person? Or do you have to do you can invite friends to your world? I don't know if they'll consider that. I don't know if they'll consider that a family game. Maybe they'll consider it action adventure. Maybe they'll consider it a sim. Will they consider it a sim game? It could be considered a multiplayer game. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Pokopia could be up there for just Game of the Year, honestly. Lego Batman, Lego everything else, never going to be on my radar. It's not local. I don't think it's required to be local. I was just actually kind of curious about it. If you guys are just tuning in and you're looking for information about AC, Black Flag, Remake, or anything else in the gaming news, just subscribe to the channel and you can talk in the chat. Subscribing is totally free, so you can do that right now if you would like. Also, we are working on a big, huge stretch goal, so if you have an Amazon Prime subscription and you would like to use that on my Twitch channel, you can. And we've got gifting available, or just pick up your own membership for $5 and help us with that total. It has to have local multiplayer, I think. I don't think it has to have local multiplayer, but I definitely think if you're going to be in the running for Family Game of the Year, I do feel like you're gonna need to have some kind of like that. I think it's going to help. It's definitely going to help to have local multiplayer, because you want people to be able to like play together. Judging from the description, then Pokopia might not be in contention then. Lono, do you think what do you think Pragmata will peak at on Steam? It seems to be doing really, really well right now. Let's check it. Pragmata Steam charts. It did RE9 kind of went crazy. Pragmata's currently kind of flattening out and plateauing at like 50,000. I could see this over the weekend, given that it has a 90-something percent, 91% on Steam. Global, that's its global rating, not necessarily your regional rating. I could actually see Pragmata touching 100K over the weekend. Sunday is usually when a game like that kind of peaks. But, Pragmata currently in my region has a 96%. So it could certainly go kind of bonkers over the weekend. I could see it. I could see it getting there. I don't think it's going to pull. Like, what did RE9 hit? It's a single-player game, so it doesn't necessarily need concurrent players. Well, no, it doesn't need concurrence, but I just think people enjoy, seeing a game like that kind of be super, super successful. Like, it was cool to see RE9 hit crazy numbers. Like, I actually think that it's a really, really good pushback against some of the narrative that like gaming is bad right now, or that gaming has fallen off, or gaming sucks right now. I saw some tweet from somebody who said something to the effect of like, gaming went downhill, and the beginning of the end for gaming was the beginning and end of gaming was when like people decided they didn't want to be better than tryhards. They didn't want to play against tryhards or whatever. And I'm like, that's not, I don't think, true. I don't agree with that. And also, I think gaming has hit a great stride right now. We're seeing really, really chart-topping, excellently built single-player games. It's great. Did you like Replaced? No. Replaced really let me down. I thought Replaced was going to be the indie darling this year. No, it is not going to be the indie darling. Its score continues to drop on Steam. I'm not surprised that the score is continuing to drop on Steam. It currently has a 75. If I remove all languages, if I go all languages, it has a 75. So it has a 75% across the board, which that's not a bad score, but that's not a media indie darling score either. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just not. It's unfortunate. I really thought it's so much style. It's just oozing style, but the game is just not very fun to play. It's extremely slow. It's so much just walking, just holding forward. And then the platforming doesn't feel good. They've already pushed out a patch to address some of the issues with platforming where you just get stuck and stuff doesn't seem to work right. And then the combat really is not great. It doesn't feel good. It feels very much like you're just like passively waiting for blocks and parries, like hit your mark and wait is what it felt like. $2 super chat. You get more excited for Intergalactic or the Fairgame? All of it. I'm excited for all of it. I'm excited for the Fairgame. I don't know why people are so upset. I think people assume that it's going to like replace God of War, which it's not, which I think that's probably why some people were negatively reacting to it. You can find a game suck now or no games anymore YouTube video every year for the last decade, for sure. Gaming is in a bit of a bad spot, just some parts, but Capcom is just having a new golden era. No, forget Capcom for a second. What do you mean? This year's incredible. Fuzzy coming in. No, Fuzzles for Life comes in with 3 months and bumps the line to 512. There's so many great games that have already come out this year. And not only that, let's just go to OpenCritic and let's just look at the year. All platforms, time frame just this year, all right? Pokopia, Resident Evil 9, Mugenics, Esoteric Ebb, Pragmata, the Cult of the Lamb DLC is doing very, very well. Cairn, that mountain climbing game. Neo 3 did incredibly well, and people really loved it. Monster Hunter Stories 3, Dragon Quest Reimagined, Planet of Lana 2, Mio Memories in Orbit, Mouse PI for Hire. We're, what is it? We're April? Is April just a constant barrage of great games? I mean, I'm in the 80s now, but games that get like an 80 on OpenCritic can still be really, really good. Just this week, you've got Pragmata, you've got, Crimson Desert. People are loving Crimson Desert, even though it didn't really grab me, and I thought it launched very different than, what they were promoting, but people are having a good time, and it sold like crazy. Super Meat Boy 3D. Let's see. Romeo is a Dead Man. Code Vein 2 didn't do very well. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando doesn't look like it did all that well. High on Life 2. I didn't like it that much. I did bounce. I did bail. I've completed a lot of games. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 had really good Switch ports that my wife and I thoroughly enjoyed. Let's see. Crypt Custodian wasn't new this year, but I played it. Grind Survivors is fantastic. Ghost of Yotei Legends, Sworn, BlazBlue Entropy Effect. Crimson is this year's Expedition 33. No, it's not. Not even close. There are people that love it, like obsessively love it, but like the rest of us are not feeling it that way. Expedition 33 was like universally beloved and praised, and it had like a cultural moment. Crimson Desert is not having that at all. It's one of the most derivative games I think I've ever seen. Like, it's massively derivative. It's winning a quantitative battle. It's just so big, and there's so much to do. People are loving it for its open world exploratory purpose. But come on, man. It's one of the most derivative games in existence. Like, it's not, there's not much earth-shattering about it. Other than its rabid, weird fan base. It has a very weird fan base. I love Crimson Desert more than most games, says Solemn, but it is not going to win Game of the Year. It's just a fantastic game. Critics hated it, players love it, but awards are critic run. I think you're missing a huge part of its history, Solemn. For at least a week and a half, the players agreed with the critics. It had a bad score for like a week and a half. It had like a 60% for like a week and a half. Everyone's like, oh, the critics hated it and got it wrong. No. The critics and the users were all in agreement for like an entire week. And it's slowly but surely climbed to a respectable score, like an 80-something global on Steam. Great. Good for them. It's got an 82% global on Steam. 82%. Wonderful. They climbed and scraped there with patch notes that compete with the length of a CVS receipt. Okay, listen. Here's your chance, chat. We have a treasure train on Twitch right now, okay? Which means it's a 35% off gifted subs at 5 or more? Oh, we unlocked the treasure train at level 2, which you guys could easily get the treasure train to level 2. If you guys are going to make a scramble for a stretch goal, this is it. This is your shot. Everybody that goes nuts, you're going to want to go over to the Twitch channel. You've got like 5 minutes to do it. If you don't do it with the treasure train, there ain't no way it's going to happen. You're going to have to get the big boys to go over there. That 35% is extremely helpful. A $5 super chat from True SSJ Havoc. Paul hits his 8-month renewal with the Prime, and then Space Jockey hits his 2-month renewal, and then a 5 bomb comes in from Lone Wolf, and there it is. The treasure train has been unlocked. There you go. You're off to the races. You've got, I don't know how much time. You have 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes of 35% off, 5 subs or more. And Broken Earth's going to add 1 5 bomb as well. There it is. And I'm going to owe you guys as well. You guys hit it. If you guys hit it, I'll go crazy. I'll drop a 20 over there. Let's go. Let's go all the way. You guys can do it. You don't even need the hour. Just use the treasure train to get it. I really love Crimson Desert, but definitely not Expedition 33 type of game. And Broken Earth gifts a signal. There it is. Boom. Secures the 525. Thank you so much, Broken Earth. I'm not seeing the discount. You should see it now, but it has to be a 5 bomb or higher. It's for 5 gifted subs or higher. Lone Wolf, you unlocked it. You don't get it at level 1. It's kind of stupid. It says treasure train, but you don't get the discount until you get to level 2. You got us to level 2, though, Lone Wolf. So now the discount applies to all 5 bombs or higher, is how it's supposed to work. Let me do it myself. Let me see. Wait, why won't it let me gift? There we go. Gift a subscription. Yeah, I'm not seeing it either. Do I need to, like, refresh the chat? Hang on. Space Jockey just dropped a 5 bomb. Did you get the discount, Space Jockey? You had to refresh for it to show. Yeah, refresh the chat for it to show. Let me see if it's showing for me now. Gift a sub. And yes, I've got the discount now. And another one comes in. Hang on. I'm having a hard time keeping up. Oh, we've got a real train now. We haven't had one of these in a while. A 5 bomb comes in from Muku. Thank you so much, Muku. And a 10 bomb comes in from Terminal Stupidity to get us to 545. Space Jockey says, I got the discount. And Muku renews with their Prime and says, keep it going. Thank you for 15 months, Muku 85. So we had a 10 from Terminal. We had a 5 from Muku. And we are now at Treasure Train level 6. No, level 7. We're at level 7. Jiminy Christmas. True SSJ says, thanks a lot, Twitch. Lono, what? Lono, what are you trying to say? True SSJ Havoc with a $5 super chat says, I feel like I'd be a hypocrite if I like Zach's story in Crisis Core FF7 with his influence and background part in FF7, but hate Faye's game. I don't even understand how those are related at all. Like, I am deeply confused. And we got another 5 bomb from Mile High, and he gets us to 551. Hilly says, YouTube take the L. Suck it, YouTube. And we've got a Prime from Cisco Nabisco and gets us to 552. You guys are exactly 200 members away. And you have, oh my gosh, Lone Wolf drops a 20 bomb on Twitch and gets us to 572. Terminal Stupidity drops a 10 bomb and gets us to 582. And there's a big one coming in. Oh my gosh. I don't even have an alert for that. Silent Spartan drops 150 members on Twitch. What a run we're having. Sean Torius gets involved and drops a 5 bomb on Twitch. That's unreal. I don't even have an alert for 150. You maniac, Silent Spartan. You guys are going to get it now. You're going to get it now. Jiminy frickin' Christmas. Look at the colors for a 150. That's insane. It's like a gradient at the top of the chat. It looks like an electrical storm. Holy crap. Hal says it's dusty over here. Oh, boy. So is the Fairgame confirmed as real? At this point, it sounds like it. Setting a new record. Keep going until the clock runs out. Oh, we just set a brand new Hype Train record. We're at level 15. The previous record was level 14. Holy crap. That's a brand new one. Well, there you go. We're now 13 away. And Sean Torius drops 25 right there. I don't have a 25. I got a 20, and I got a 5, and then I got a single from Joker Quinn. Joker Quinn. And there it is. You've secured the stretch goal. Solemn with 100 bits. Keep it going. Go all the way to 1,000. I'll come up with something. Catwalk comes in with 5 months and a prime over there on purple. And another one comes in from Wired Rope, a 10 bomb to 774. Twitch saved the day. Those treasure trains are crazy, bro. I wish YouTube would do something like that. Jiminy Christmas. Thank you guys so much for the continued insane generosity to the channel. We were trying to get to 1,000 sub points on Twitch, and we're right back there. And Hadigan comes over, says happy Friday, and he bumps it to 775. I tell you what, right before time runs out on this treasure train, I'll drop a 20 bomb to try to roll it over. So keep going as high as you can get it, and I'll save our bacon at the buzzer if I can. Pan Paraf says, come on, YouTube. This is insane. It is insane. And just like that. And Broken Earth drops another one and gets us to 780, 20 away from 800. 2 new IPs. Crimson Desert did one heck of a marketing campaign. Pragmata launches with almost 60,000 players on Steam. I'm playing both. Well-deserved after the week you gave us, Lono. Great job. I appreciate that, Biggie. Thank you very, very much. We're just trying to have good vibes only, man. We're just trying to do shows with people. We're just trying to make good content for y'all, and it wouldn't be possible. It just would not be possible. Level 16, that's the highest we've ever had a hype train. Level 16, we've never been this high before. We got 3 minutes more left on the treasure train on Twitch. So thank you so much, everybody who's been contributing. Siege Master comes over and renews a tier 3 for 29 months and gets us to 781. Continuing the greatness. Thank you so much, Mr. Siege Master. Purple needed this win, I'll tell you. And Terminal Stupidity comes in with another one, and he drops 20 to get us to 800. Jiminy Christmas. Terminal Stupidity has been knocking the door down over there along with Broken Earth. And Siege Master with a vibe bomb is adding to the total as well. And we're now at a level 17. Thank you guys so much over there. I'm going to wear my voice out if I'm not careful. And then we had a big one. Solemn comes in with 100 bits to keep the hype train going. Thank you so much. And then we had the big 150 gifteds. Just an absolute massive bomb drop by Silent Spartan as well. We're just the generosity on Twitch is kind of breaking right now. Will you and your wife react to Pragmata together? Oh, I don't know about all that. You guys have unlocked a doubleheader for tomorrow. What's the membership record for 1 week? I actually don't know what the record is for 1 week. I've got a room in the Discord where I think I've recorded that. Where is it? I had it set as like a... Is it in the Mod Talk room? I had a room where I don't even know where it went now. Lono marker... I think someone deleted it. I had a room. I think it was like an admin room... And I don't see it anymore. It looks like it got deleted. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I don't remember what the record was. Timestamp as the end. Oh, that's my own room. I thought somebody just put that. I was like, huh? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I don't know what I did with it. I had a room where like I put like my member records, and I don't know what happened to it. All right, there's 3 minutes left, Twitch. A $5 super chat from True SSJ Havoc. Fairgame is a prequel that focuses on her story, possibly up to Kratos, where we only hear about her. Zack was also a massive untold influence story. Oh, I understand. Okay. Oh. Do you know what the surprise is yet? No. We'll do Cuphead. That was one I told you about. Twitch, you have 2 minutes left on the treasure train. I'll save it at the very last minute with a 20 bomb. If it's gonna drop below. Twitch W 80. Oh yeah, 321. That's right. Now the doubleheader's been unlocked. Y'all better show up tomorrow. That's right. I'm in need of a real God of War game after that Metro. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, Gears of War game? Is that what you're trying to say? Red badge here. Thank you, Raven, for having a red badge. That's absolutely incredible. Make sure you guys on YouTube are hitting the like button as well. Get us to 300 likes. That's greatly appreciated. Twitch running away with it today. Is a surprise a hot tub stream? No. What do we unlock at 1,000? I don't even know if Twitch is going to try and make a run for the 1,000. We haven't hit stretch in so long. I didn't even have anything set for the 1,000. I can't even think of anything. Usually we would just keep adding on pain. Like make us play Cuphead and then make us, I don't know, let Madam hit me in the face with a wet towel. I don't know. We typically don't have incentives that far out because we've a couple of weeks now we've just squeaked into the 500 to unlock the Saturday stream. Starfield on PS5 for 1,000. Why would we do that? Why would we do Starfield? Nobody cares to see that. All right, there's 48 seconds left. Let me drop my 20 bomb that I told you guys I would gift you if you guys hit stretch. Let me see if I can roll it over. I don't know if it'll help me or let me roll it over or not. Oh, it wasn't enough. We're at 80%. Somebody else tag team it quick. It's not enough. We're at 82%. There's 20 seconds left. I tried to save the treasure train. It wasn't enough. 15 seconds, Twitch. We're at 82%. Oh, Zinthos didn't roll it over. He needs help. Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Zinthos, for the 5 bomb at the buzzer. And the treasure train has come to a conclusion. Let me add yours to the total, Zinthos. Thank you. There it is. Level 17. Brand new record on the Twitch channel. We got a hype train all the way to level 17. Bonkers. And anybody who contributed can use that choo-choo melting crazy heart emoji. Thank you again to everybody who did that. Silent Spartan and Zinthos and Siege Master, Terminal Stupidity. Lone Wolf is the one who unlocked. Let's get some thanks in chat for Lone Wolf. He unlocked the discount. He got the treasure train level unlocked. Catwalk threw some in there. Wired Rope threw some in there. Hadigan threw in. Shontorius threw in. And I think that's everybody who contributed. And then everybody who used theirs. Mile High contributed. Muku contributed. Thank you guys, everybody. Space Jockey contributed. And Broken Earth. And Paul. Everybody that contributed. You guys got us all the way there. And then some. Malice One says, I didn't get in time. Thank you for 2 months, though. We'll add it. Here's what you should do. Save your contributions now for next week. Save your renewals. Save your contributions. There's no reason to go because you're gonna use them now, and I don't think we're gonna hit 1,000. I don't even have an incentive for 1,000. I don't even know what I would do for 1,000. I don't know. I mean, maybe I have to wear a suit and tie tomorrow night and class up the joint if you guys hit 1,000. I can't think of anything else to do. Usually because I hate dressing up. We try to come up with incentives that are painful for me. That's usually what we come up with. So, we got 55 minutes of Ginger Show. Plenty to talk about. Plenty of gaming news going on. Let's check the feeds to see what's going on out here. What's this Grand Blue Fantasy thing? Oh, is this a DLC? Open beta test confirmed to launch. Cross-play supported. Be sure to try out cooperative play that transcends platform barriers. The new feature Summon is also available. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok. What is that? That was the only thing I didn't like about Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. We got it to the point where Madam and I could play together, but was extremely disappointed that you can't just like straight up play through the game together. You like run missions. And I didn't realize the BAFTAs were happening. The BAFTA Game Awards are happening tonight. I did not know that. Shave your beard. I'm not shaving my beard for 1,000. No, we don't really touch the beard. We don't really touch the beard generally. Play marathon. If you guys hit 1,000, Madam and I will take turns playing marathon. We never did that. We actually never did that. We had an incentive one week to make Madam play marathon, and we didn't hit it. So that's what we could do. We could do a double header. We could do Cuphead. We agreed to do Cuphead. We'll do that. And then we could do marathon. What about for 2,000? Shave my beard for 2,000 members. You guys aren't going to get there. There's no way. We're at 812. You would need 1,200 members in 53 minutes. You've got a Portal, play together. I need to get that other monitor back where I had it so her and I can easily set up games to play together again for you guys. I broke that setup down and I need to get it back. So that's not happening. Yeah, I don't think we're getting to 1,200 members in 53 minutes. There will be no beard shaving. Yeah, we don't like to do beard shaving stuff. 1188 actually. Actually. You're headed to the round table and come back for Pragmata? Yes, we will go to the round table and we will come back for Pragmata. That is correct. Yes. Tax came. Someone will do 1188 in 20 minutes. How did you like the Metro reveal? I liked the Metro reveal. I just wish there would have been a little bit more gameplay. You know? I just wish there would have been a little bit more gameplay. It didn't feel like a first look. It felt like a first glimpse. It was like, there it is. Oh, it's over. Like, it looked great. Cinematic was great. I love the grit and the vibe and the devs. I think they're great. But I wish we would have seen a little bit more gameplay. I also don't think... I don't know if they're going to make it like winter. That means like they have until like probably like end of first quarter next year to get it out. I don't know if they're going to hit that. That homie downgraded from Thor to like, I don't even know what. Substitute gym teacher. It's bad. Lona, I was saying a new God of War third person like Ragnarok or 2018 will be much appreciated, even if it's as Faye, after the very disappointing Sons of Sparta. Well, here's the thing about the Faye game. I want you to think about Santa Monica's ability to create like a really, really good combat system, and think about a really, really good combat system with a faster protagonist. Because like Kratos is quick, but I wouldn't really describe him as fast. He kind of lumbers around like, you know, a defensive lineman, like a lineman from football is like, shung, 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 shung. You know what I mean? He kind of lumbers around. And, you know, his combat's great and elaborate and fun. But he also, I think, doesn't really... It doesn't have this, like, speed and this agility. I think she could. She could be really fun. Yo, Perfect Image gifts a member. He says, well, I believe we can get it to 1,000. I don't think you can. There's just no way. Oh, no, 2,000. Yeah, you're not going to get to 2,000. 1,000? Maybe. It's maybe. I'll give you a maybe. Anything beyond that is doubtful. Wouldn't she be using the axe, though? That's not a fast weapon. Well, she could be using the axe, yes, but she could be using the axe along with other things. She could have other abilities. She can have abilities that give her a crazy amount of agility, like a teleport dodge or a jump or a double jump. There's a lot of things that she could do. Lumbers around, defensive lineman. What football are you watching? Those are some monsters on the defensive lines. Okay, Broken Earth. Let's hand the football to a running back or a tight end, and then let's hand the ball to the defensive lineman and see who's faster. You know what I'm saying? Leo comes in with 30 months. Hopefully we get the epic fight between Faye and Thor, which was teased. Thank you so much, getting us to 814. Listen, if you guys are going to celebrate your renewals, then have a go for it. Run for it. I'll come up with something. But save your renewals for next week. If you're going to use them now, then go. Go the distance. Start dropping bombs. Hit the next milestone. If you're not going to hit the next milestone, save those renewals, boys. I can already see people being unbearable with Faye just because she's remotely similar to Aloy in looks, redhead, freckles, etc. Yeah, but if they can get the actress who plays Karen Page, like, what the frick? 360-pound defensive tackles are still running 5-second 40s. You guys know what I mean, for frick's sake. Jiminy Christmas. One's faster than the other. We know this. Like, off jump, like, put them on a line and blow a whistle. Who's faster? I'm agreeing with you. Oh, I thought you were, like, correcting me. Like, the point is they're faster. She would be faster. She'd be agile. She's a small-framed, god. She would be quick, The axe could be quite quick. She could have a teleport dash. She could have a double jump, a jump. Imagine her doing things with the axe on the canvas of that agility. What are you doing, FCAT? Don't read this out loud. Why are you putting that in my chat then? Or going down? What are you doing? What are you even talking about? I agree with that she could be agile. And with a big axe, it's not a knife. Like a defensive tackle is slower than a running back. She's supernatural, though. She could swing the axe very quickly. She could do different things with it. Imagine she could have, like, more magic-based abilities. So she could swing and then teleport it to this hand, swing, teleport it to this hand. Imagine a really cool combo system with her that was built around that idea, where if you're hitting the right button prompts, she's like swing, teleport, swing, teleport, swing, teleport. And she's basically like getting to hit them with the axe and then pull the axe through them so she's already ready for her next swing. How cool would that be? Like, she basically goes like this, and then this other hand's back here waiting for it. So it's like, boom, 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 boom. And she's just butchering them because she's using some kind of a magic ability. Kratos wields the axe like Paul Bunyan with a rage problem. She could wield the axe like a magician. Like, there's a lot of things you could do where it wouldn't feel slow or like, oh, this is just like Kratos, but it's a girl. Who knows what she could do? She's a Jotun. Yeah, there's all kinds of things she could do. I actually kind of want that in a game now. That level of agility, like rethinking what like more of a slow weapon could be combined with some kind of a magic like that. That could be very, very neat. We find out Kratos was using the axe all wrong. We don't want to do that. We don't want to. The anti-woke boys would have a field day with that. They're recanonizing the axe to make Kratos look dumb. This game is woke. Just have her say toxic masculinity, and they'll all have aneurysms. I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm getting some toxic masculinity vibes from you, Kratos. These guys would be so mad. They're like, I can't believe it. They've ruined the franchise forever. And they're like, we're just effing around. We're not going to do that with the story. It looks like Arc Raiders is trying to get, maybe they're trying to get in front of the bleed. They just tweeted, get your caravan Road ready. A new expedition window opens on April the 28th. That's in 11 days. Give the Ark a goodbye they won't forget. Skill points will now be awarded based on damage dealt within the expedition window. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or stepping into your first expedition, check out the blog for a breakdown of the new requirements. And then we've got expedition 1, 2, and 3 here outlined. The site cannot be reached. Wow. Let's try that again. Okay. Is my internet going down? No. What the frick is going on? Well, we tried to read it. I don't think the idea is wrong. Is dead at the end of the day. The axe was created for. Well, he retracted his thing. Hey, I can sub here. Thank you, Dr. Killshot. 8:15 on the day. Thank you so much for 21 months of support over there. I wonder if she could make the axe move through the air with more control than Kratos does. He throws and recalls. She could make it hover or spin or whatever. He kind of does that. He has the one where he throws it and it spins around him. So he does do a little bit of that. Yeah. So he does do the recall, but then he also does the one spin thing. He also can... No, I guess he just like lodging it in something. He's not like holding it. What kind of game is Pragmata? Third-person action, I would say, with a story. Third-person action. It's like an adult third-person Mega Man. Every Metro game has been good, but the devs need to stop putting out release windows they know they won't hit. It's not releasing in winter and being anywhere near GTA 6 or its online part of the month. Yeah, but winter could be like February, bro. You know what I mean? What game are we talking about? There's a God of War coming where you're going to play as Faye. Pragmata's a shooter. Yeah, it's a shooter. Third-person action shooter. Yeah, I loved the demo. Go play the demo and see what you think. I loved it. I was like, I think this will be fun. And then I fought the boss and I was like, this is freaking cool. I really liked it. Okay, let's see if their patch notes are available. Okay. All right. Arc Raiders just published this. A triumphant exit. A new expedition window is fast approaching, and it's time to get your caravan ready. For the third expedition, we're doing things a little differently. The big news being that skill points will be earned by dealing damage over the 5-day window, not stash value. Whether you are a seasoned veteran or stepping into your first expedition, read on for a full breakdown. With your caravan built, you have one last opportunity to truly cement your legacy before departure. The expedition window will open on April the 28th. You will have 5 days to sign up and complete the requirements. And on May the 4th, on Star Wars Day, all players who have signed up will depart automatically. Note that completing your caravan does not count as signing up for the expedition. You still have to sign up during the 5-day window. We are also introducing a last call feature. Read below. Expeditions are a personal progression that players complete in order. The caravan can be completed in between expedition windows, but finishing the expedition can only be done during a scheduled departure window. How to do it. Complete the caravan. The option to contribute to the caravan starts as soon as you complete the previous expedition, and if this is your first expedition, you can start contributing right away. The next window opens on April the 28th, and it closes on May the 4th. Sign up. Once the expedition window is open, you need to sign up. Complete the challenge. In order to get the skill points, 5 total per expedition, players will need to complete a challenge within a 5-day window. Catch up on missed skill points, a max of 5 per catch up for players on their second or third expedition or more. Depart. Everyone that signed up departs on Monday at 9. What's different? Deal damage instead of stash value for skill points. Instead of gathering stash value and coins, players will now have to deal damage to get all 5 skill points, regardless if it's your first, second, or third expedition. All players who have completed their caravan will get the challenge. No need to sign up to see it. You can complete the challenge by dealing damage with any weapon or gadget. Players will have 5 days to complete the damage challenge. Catch-up is still tied to stash value. Players who will now be departing on their second or third expedition, not relevant for players if this is your first, who missed some skill points from previous expeditions will be able to catch up. Players have to complete damage challenge first in order to unlock the coin stash value catch-up mechanic. Catch-up is 300,000 coins, stash value per point. All right. The last week of Season 3 will end on Tuesday, April 28th. Trials will be available during the expedition window this time around, unlike the previous seasons, marking the first week of Season 4 and the end at the same time as the expedition departure time. I don't think this reads exactly like it's about as clear as like a muddy mirror. It's like, okay, I kind of understand how that's going to work. I don't know. I think they could do a better job explaining that. It seems a little complex, but for the people that get it, it's probably not that difficult. But if you've never done it before, it seems a little confusing. I mean, I understand how it works, but I'm like, man, the average person's going to read that and be like, I'm confused. No idea what any of this means. So before, when you hit a certain stash value, you would get that extra skill point, right? Because that's your incentive, basically, to do it. That's your incentive. I'm going to need a brief break. We got 38 minutes to Ginger's show. I'm not going to make it. I'll be right back. Guys, try to get us to 300 likes. We're a little lacking on the like count today over there on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out. I'll be right back. I'm back. Listen, if you guys are not following Raging Italian on TikTok, that man, that man's rage gives me life. The way his son messes with him, oh my gosh! You're allowed to do that. Was the one that I just saw? You're allowed to do that. What are you telling me I'm allowed to do that for? It's my own house. Am I allowed to take a? His rage just, it's like a B12 shot in my heart. Because I feel it. I know exactly that rage. Like, what do you mean? Like, I got a teeny probably bit of that Italian streak in me to talk with my hands and get angry and get animated. I connect with him. He's like my freaking spirit animal. He's like, you're allowed to do that. What are you saying that I'm allowed to do that for? It's my own house. Quit saying that. GTA 6 will be doing massive numbers in January and February, especially if the PC version drops in February and March. That ain't happening. November to February are bad months. No. GTA 6 is not dropping on PC in Feb. I don't buy that. No. I think it'll be in the summer. I don't think... there is no way... There is no way they're going to complicate GTA Online's launch and the runway and the momentum that they have. They're not going to complicate that by trying to have a PC port at the same time. I just don't... There's no way. There's no way, boys. Don't see it. I don't. There's not been a single corroboration of that claim. There's a lot of guys out here with contacts at Rockstar. No one's come out and corroborated that. I don't think that's a... I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's somebody, having a prank or a giggle. I don't know what it is, but I don't think that's happening. I just don't. They've traditionally waited 1 year to bring GTA to PC. I think this time around it's going to be around 6 months. I think it's going to be in the summer. Because you're small, Ono, the blood go from your feet to your head faster than normal. Man, what the frick, bro? Like, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. That's not why. That isn't why we get more frustrated. I don't know if there's listen, if there's a correlation there, you can go frick yourself. Studies have found that shorter men are more prone to fits of rage. Look at him getting defensive. Frick you for that, dude. The studies have shown, the circulation and the blood pressure. It's just got less places to go. So, like Bill Burr's not very tall, is he? Like he idles at like 75 is what he says. He's ready to go. His girlfriend's like, this is 0 to 100. I just don't get it. He's like, yeah, I idle at 75. The one he kept shutting the lights off on his dad. He's like, quit shutting the lights off. He's like, Dad, I can't hear you. I can't hear you when I shut the lights off. He's like, quit effing shutting the lights off. They're going to give that man a dadgum heart attack. He's going to get so mad one day. If Lono was an animal, a honey badger? I don't know if I'd be a honey badger. Look at Joe Pesci. Yeah. What am I, funny? Funny like a clown? Am I here to amuse you? Ooh. Can't get it. There it is. All right, guys. 31 minutes. 31 minutes. Hey, I need to set up redirect, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Go here. Where is it? Where's the DM? I'm losing myself. Oh, here it is. Okay. The crazy thing, too, is about the Raging Italian thing is, like, how does the dad never catch on? Like, that's the part it's amazing to me that he's never like, I know what you're doing. Like, I know you're doing that thing where you keep saying a thing. Like, I feel like he's playing along. He has to be playing along. Like, this is a bit that your son does to you. That he says something, and he's going to keep saying it to you until you lose your dadgum mind. Like, because he's always like, stop saying that. And it's like, it's amazing to me he doesn't, it's like, it seems so real and authentic. Like, he's not catching the fact that he's messing with them. If the February release was real, Rockstar probably wasn't happy about that getting out. I'd imagine other people in the know are less likely to talk about that now. I mean, maybe. You said it's called Raging Italian. The name of the account on TikTok is Raging Italian, and it's literally, it's a son or sons. It's usually just the one guy, and he's saying something to his dad. It basically like he's gonna say it until he. This one here is drop the fake accent prank on Raging Italian. He gets so mad. I mean, they're riddled. They're riddled with F-bombs. Like, riddled with F-bombs. So just heads up if you're going to watch them. Like, huge language warning. The whole premise is that he's going to say something to his dad until his dad loses it. Because he's like, stop saying that to me. The thing that he kept saying to him the one time was like, what was he saying? Noted. He's like, all right, noted. And the subtle ones are the best because he's like, why are you saying that? I've never heard you say that before. What are you saying noted for? Noted? You sound like a robot. Like, he gets really irritated with him. He's like, yeah, take all this out. You got to take the trash out. And then I need you to take care of the yard. He's like, all right, noted. And he keeps saying it until his dad freaking loses it on him. The thing that I just watched, he was like, you're allowed to do that. Like, his dad's doing something. He's like, all right, yeah, you're allowed to do that. And he's like, it sounds like you're giving me permission. It's my own house. He's like, I don't need your permission. Stop saying that. He's like, what are you going to do later? I need your help with the mulch. All right, you're allowed to do that. He freaking loses it on him. It's the best. His rage, it just puts a smile on my face. Oh, golly. Him and what's his name? The guy that I love? The Irish guy about the potatoes. Baron, I think is his name. Oh, my. Marin? No, it might be Marin. Marin Boone, I think. Oh, gosh. It's just good content. It makes me laugh. What do you make of the armors that you get with the Saros Deluxe Edition? The Onryo armor looks so cool. I love when they do those kind of those kind of crossovers. Yeah. This is what the questions portion of Insider Gaming Pod is for. Huh? What are you talking about, Rope? Is Furious from Mystery Men? No. Do you think the actress who played Faye will be in the new game? I think if they're smart, they'll try and get her. She's a hot ticket item. Number one, she is so charming. She just seems like you would literally want to spend all day with her, just hanging out and doing stuff. She just seems so fun. When she teaches Johnny Bernthal how to do D&D, I'm like, how do you not just like fall in love with that personality and just how she just seems so sweet? It's like she's so likable, and she's also a very good actor. Like, she was in True Blood, and then she's in frickin' Daredevil. Like, she's fantastic. Yeah, let's get her and have her be center stage. I think people would frickin' love that. It'd be really, really hard for people to be like, this game is woke and blah, if she's involved. Because how do you not love her? You know? It'd be a bummer if it wasn't. If it wasn't her, it'd be a huge bummer. It would be, I think, kind of a step down. I think her interactions with Kratos and Ragnarok were fantastic. Like, she had him pegged. She, was consistently, putting him in his place, Her love for D&D puts her over the top. Yeah, it never hurts when someone is, a bit of a smoke show. It never hurts. Pause on that pegging. She had him pegged. That's right. What did she say? She was pegging him and putting him in his place? I mean, some of you guys are self-reporting right now. That's fine. I didn't hear it. You did. It says a lot about you. You guys are, if you're into that sort of thing, that's fine. If you need a mommy in high heels to put you in your place, and peg you. I mean, listen, dude. I mean, that's between you and the Lord. That's not for me, to judge. Yeah, freaking weirdos. Bunch of dadgum perverts. I'm on testosterone therapy. Everything sounds dirty. Insider is doing a Q&A today, I think. Oh. Someone will ask about GTA in Feb. Yeah. Ask about it. See what Tom Henderson says, because he'll look into stuff like that. You know, she was incredible in Daredevil, awesome in True Blood, and the D&D Bernthal moment was peak. Yeah, they're just, her and Johnny Bernthal are just very lovable people. They just seem so genuine. Like, you know, I don't know how you can not like them. Can we get Hannah Waddington in it too? That would be Chef's Kiss. I don't actually know that name. Why do I not know that name? I know her. Yeah. You just, yep. Masters of Albion official launch trailer. That's a Peter Molyneux's game can be. Oh, yeah, this is that one where you can, like, move stuff around and stuff, isn't it? Like, yeah, you can, like, check out the launch trailer for the God game genre, Masters of Albion, or Albion. Available Wednesday, April 22nd. Only on Steam? Well, that's unfortunate. This game here, you guys remember this one? Has she been good in the latest Daredevil season? I had to pause my subscription. Madam and I took a break because we kind of like to binge. The once a week thing, I like it in some shows and I wasn't kind of digging it. So we were playing Sworn. So last night, since we kind of officially quote unquote beat Sworn, we watched an episode last night. I think it was like the second episode, and it's heating up. We enjoyed it. So. Did FCat ever explain what we were talking about? No, he's having kind of a tiff with fighting Cowboy. It's the whole thing's stupid. He made the fatal mistake of overreacting, and then I think they were really low class about it. He accidentally showed his face for like a split second, and someone took a screenshot and put the text on it and said I'm a bum, and it was like it would have been like a blip and forgotten, but he made a big deal out of it, and then they decided to make put the gas pedal down, and if he wouldn't have said anything, they probably wouldn't even have done anything more than they did. Yeah, so this is available next week on Steam. Masters of Albion. So. Like, they should have just been like, hey, man, sorry, that we'll take it down. That's not cool or whatever. But it's like, you can't do that. As soon as you let somebody know something bothers you, they're gonna make it worse. The bat suits in the new Lego Batman game. Jiminy Christmas. There's so many. I love it. This is going to be just... Oh, I can't wait for this game, dude. Can't wait. What do you think of Blades of Fire? I'm looking forward to that in May. I think Blades of Fire has tons of potential. I hope they can get their footing, because I liked it. It just didn't... It had a lot of rough edges that made people not like it all that much. I love the visual progression they offer in the new Batman Lego game. Yeah, like in the Batcave? Is that what you mean? Never show chat your soft underbelly. Yeah. Yeah, I have to be on guard for it, because I hate like, misrepresentation and bad faith, and people will come in and they'll intentionally do it because they know that I'm attracted to it to debate it, and I just have to be on guard to make sure I'm not just having somebody that are basically rage baiting chat. Yo, Edward Holst with 32 months and a member plus. bumps the line to 8/16 banner week. Metro 2039 looks like it has the potential to be really good. Also excited for the BAFTA Game Awards tonight. Rooting for one last Expedition 33 sweep. What time is that? Should we co-stream that? I didn't even think about that. Do they? I don't think they stream it. I think that's the problem with it. Did they stream it? BAFTA Awards 2026. Oh no, it is. It's scheduled for 2:00. Oh yeah, it goes live at 2:00 this afternoon. We totally missed the boat on that. I don't know if we should co-stream that and then play Pragmata after. I don't know. I totally forgot about the BAFTAs. Yo, thank you, Vicks Vapor, for 39 months. Boom, 8/17. That's a lot of months. Thank you. Can't hurt to do both. Co-stream and then gameplay. I'd need a title and description and thumbnail in the next 10 minutes so I could schedule it and then have just have Ginger redirect to that. Because his show literally runs up until that point, 1 to 2. Like, it's almost perfect timing. How long does it run? What's the run time? Hang on, let me see. Let's see. You're probably not missing much, TBH. Worth a recap on Monday. That's kind of something that we do, though. We kind of do like the live event thing. We couldn't do a waiting room today. That wouldn't have worked. Hang on a second. Last year was 2 hours. What's the view count on that, Fuzzy? How'd they do? Raging Italian's funny, but their techniques could use some refinement. They're going to need a new bit eventually. They're going to need a new bit. 200,000 views. Frick, yeah. That's not bad at all. Dadgummit. Shoot. Hang on a second. I feel like we should. I like stuff like that. I like watching stuff like that with you guys. Then we could do Pragmata after. I've got time. I'll still play Pragmata. Hang on. It'll be a long day. Hang on. Let me do the math here. That'll go to 4. No, we'll have time for Pragmata. Yeah. Okay. I just want to schedule before we go do the thing with Ginger. Copy image address. Just ignore that. That's just for me. No green room. We don't really do green rooms on Friday right now. It's really, really tough for me to do green rooms on Friday. So, where's that? There we go. So, no head. Throws his phone down. Oh, that is just the most ridiculous. Okay. Where is it saving this image? Open. There we go. It should be pretty easy to make this. Man, that Pragmata thumbnail goes hard too. I'm excited for that one. This will be a fairly easy thumbnail to make. They've got a really good logo PNG that I found. That's always extremely helpful. Check that. Check that. Okay. Whoa. I wonder what I should put in the, let's see, BAFTA Game Awards. Like, what do we put in the, I guess we could put this, maybe, as the focus image. I'm wondering if we should put, just Expedition 33. They're going to win, like, everything. Select, modify, expand that by 5 pixels, and then content aware delete. I'm getting mentioned. Hang on, what's this? Yep. Hang on, Ginger. I'm working on it right now. We're having a bit of a change. Just a slight change in planning. Teeny change. Won't affect the round table. Okay. BAFTA Game Awards 2026 live. Also their media center. I got it. The PNG logo that I found is great. Like, it's really good quality. A lot of the times you go to do something like this and like you try to get a logo and the dadgum logos are just freaking terrible. All right, we'll grab this. And then All right, it's 10 till. I'm good on time. I'm almost done. What would even be the other game competing with Expedition 33 last year? What was the other game that could have won Game of the Year? Right? Like, I can't even think who would even have potentially competed with Expedition. Maybe Silk Song? Hades 2, Donkey Kong, Death Stranding 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance? Broken Earth with a single gifted just to shake things up. Okay. What was that sound? Broken Earth doing another one. He did 3. He's getting us to 820. He's trying to distract me. I'm over here trying to work, and he's trying to set up a 5-bomb dunker. Okay. Oh no. This is not age restricted. 7:53. We're right on time. 12:53. What? I can't even. Broken Earth with the even number. That's what I'm saying, dude. Just out here messing with the man. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. Joker Quinn. You can always count on Joker Quinn to throw something in there. Okay. The best way to mess with Joker Quinn is to not let him do that. Somebody just drop the 5-bomb anyway. Broken Earth drops another single. There it is. Yeah, don't let this man mess around. All right. Let me send that one. And another one from Broken Earth. Another one from Broken Earth. Wants to go out with a bang. Best games: Arc Raiders, Blueprints, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Dispatch, Ghost of Yote, Indiana Jones. Oh, let me change this then. Or could Arc Raiders... There we go. Silk Song's not even up there. Okay. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys a link. And I'm also going to redirect you guys on Twitch and YouTube. Broken Earth, did you round us out? I think he just rounded us out. Okay. I'll pay up later because you guys might go crazy during the BAFTAs and Pragmata. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you guys a link in the chat. That is where we are headed. We're going over to the round table. Bring the love and the support. Go crazy on that like button when y'all get over there, okay? All right. That's where we're headed. It's going to be me, Ginger Prime, Lord Cognito. It's going to be a good time, okay? So thank you, Broken Earth. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you to all the people I already thanked for going crazy on Twitch. You guys unlocked a really, really long Saturday night, and that is just such a blessing that that you support us the way that you do. So we're very willing to have those longer streams and those celebrations with you guys, okay? So I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you guys over there for the roundtable.